Hello! Hello, hello! Welcome to another episode of Manifest Actual Play. I'm Tommy. With me, as always, Dan Barron, Addie Gia, Seth Lilly, Roman Milan. And as you can see, our backgrounds have all changed. That is because all of us have moved. We did a move. We did a whole move. That's why we weren't on last week. And these backgrounds are definitely subject to change as we get more things unpacked and figure out exactly how we're going to do this. And also, Seth's having some technical difficulties, so he's coming from his cell phone right now.
I mean, my video's a lot better, but my audio is so much worse.
Hooray!
Video 10, audio 1.
So, yeah, we did it. We're here. We have successfully done our move. We missed y'all last week. We're excited to get back into it. But before we dive into any of the actual play, any of the recap, all of that jazz, I'm going to toss the floor over to these lovely folks to talk to you about some stuff. Take it away, lovely folks.
Yeah, so I'll go first. Every month, we like to highlight a charity, and because this month we all moved, we have the same one as last month for just the first week here. So we're going to plug one more time GLSEN, that's GLSEN. They are the leading national education organization working in K-12 schools to turn them into safe and affirming environments for LGBTQ students so that they can learn and grow in a place where they don't have to deal with bullying and harassment. 8 out of 10 LGBTQ students are still harassed at school each year just because of who they are, but GLSEN is working to change that through research and developing evidence-based solutions and providing those resources to educators to use in their school communities. They're a great organization. They do important work. If you have the time, the platform, or the money to send their way, we would appreciate it because it's important stuff. That's me. Someone else now.
Hell yeah. I'll go ahead and take it. So as far as the stream, we are here pretty much every Tuesday night at 8 Central, 9 Eastern, 7 Mountain, 6 Pacific, and all of the other ones, all the other time zones too. If you have trouble keeping track of the time zones like I do, just smash that follow button below me, and Twitch will tell you about it. Twitch keeps track of the time. Just hit that, and if you love the show, you want to support us, go one better and hit that nice purple. I think I'm not looking at it.
Pretty sure it's
purple subscribe button. Hit that nice purple subscribe button. We'd really appreciate it. And if you've got Amazon Prime, and if you've ever watched The Boys or The Expanse or Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, it sounds like you do, or someone you know does, and maybe they haven't cashed this in yet. But you get a free subscription to a Twitch channel. So hit the subscribe button, follow the instructions, have your friends follow the instructions, whoever's getting this account, and gift that to us. We'd really appreciate it. All the money we get from subscriptions, bits, cheers, gifts, donations. If you mail us money in the mail, creepy, because you shouldn't know our address, but we do appreciate it. It all goes straight back into the stream, makes things better, makes Seth's audio better and his video worse. It makes all of the things go and run and smooth and great, especially when we do big moves like this and we want to improve our space to make the stuff better. And please follow us on Facebook, Twitter, at ManifestRPG on Twitter, at Manifest the RPG on the gram. Or is the gram still an ARG experience?
The clues are there. You have to go back. Let me tell you, the clues started earlier than you think. I'll say.
Yeah. You got to go to Ninja's stream for some of the clues, but not right now. Right now, stay here.
Fantastic. I do want to while Seth's video is turned up to 10 and his audio is turned down to 1, it does look like Roman's video is turned down to 2 and his audio is up to 10 because you're bouncing all over the place in video, Roman. I don't know if there's anything to be done about that. Maybe one day we'll get a better computer.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day. All right, cool. Addie, you got some announcements as well?
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys have heard, but Waypoint Game Designs move. We moved, we relocated, we have a physical headquarters now. And we are really excited to be working together on all new cool projects for you guys to consume at a later date. But we have successfully done that. It was a project. And as far as updates here, we had a brief hold on our YouTube videos while the whole move project was happening, so those are going to start being posted again. So if you follow us mostly on YouTube, don't worry, never fear. When this VOD goes away, you can go over there and look at it. Also, we are very excited about some progress that we've made on this whole publication thing that we're really excited about. And also the merch proofs are existing, and I don't know where I was. Yeah, they look great, and I'm really excited about them. And so they will be available when we put together our web store, which is also very soon now that we've moved. Basically, all the things that you've ever wanted from us are now going to happen because we've done it. We became a real company, you guys. And so that is the update. We exist. We're here. We have a physical location.
Yeah.
Tommy's going to talk to you about the stream.
Yes. Now, Now, in case you are joining us for the first time or you forgot in our week hiatus, you, the viewers, have the ability to interact with the gameplay a little bit, and you can do so by spending your viewer grit. It's what we call our channel points here. At the bottom of your chat, you earn channel points or viewer grit by watching the stream, by subbing, by following, all that goodness. And you can spend your grit to give grit to a specific player or the GM. You can see we all have little numbers up here. This is how much grit we all have. And you can give grit to the players and they can use that. It's an expendable resource that allows them to modify their roles and make the things that are really important to them happen the way they want. You can also gift it to the GM, and I can make things interesting for the players by making things harder for them. You'll also notice that when you spend, when you give me grit, it's cheaper. And when I use the grit against them, they get grit. So it's like, you know, you get grit to them at a cheaper price. Just saying.
Right. So you should do the luxury option and give directly.
Hey, viewers, you're worth it. Treat yourself.
Yeah. It's cheap, shoddy craftsmanship GM grit, or you want the real American-made stuff?
Just to make sure I have the grit counts right, because we were off for a week. I start at 8 every session. Dex, I have you at 7. Eloise, I have you at 7. Porter, I have you at 6, and Gus, I have you at 10. Cool. We're good. But Porter, you now have...
I don't know how I got 7 grit, but I'm real excited about that. I thought I had 4. This is amazing, but my sheet says 7.
Nice.
Heck yeah.
Porter, you get a grit. Fiddler Undone has gifted you a grit.
Oh, always with the grit from Fiddler. Thank you.
All right. So, we got a whole friggin' adventure to go on, and we have a recap to do. But before we get into that, we got some cool character art from Kate May we want to look at. In case you guys forgot how cool these characters look, let's transport our minds to the world of Manifest and check them out. Whoa!
lost it.
Hey, whoa! All right. So let's get right into the recap. These four drifters have been together for some time now. They met in the settlement of Waypoint. They went on a job to deliver some electronics to a small settlement, and during that journey they were attacked by some bandits who had ties to an underground organization called the Free People's Coalition. These four drifters have been investigating and tracking that coalition while also running afoul of a militia garrison called Brimstone. Brimstone Garrison, a sort of kind of shadowy, mysterious militia garrison in Fort Dearborn, potentially doing some pretty messed up stuff. These four drifters fought a giant illuminated monster that turned out to be a person. And they were able to avoid being kind of detained by the militia, but now are kind of on the run from a mercenary company called Black Star, a mercenary company that has been hired by Brimstone in some capacity to apparently capture Eloise and Gus, with a priority on Eloise. Further continuing to indicate that Brimstone is doing some kind of weird testing on illuminated people or something along those lines. Now, their path tracking the Free People's Coalition has led them to the settlement of Las Brasas, where they arrived at the end of last session. They were told that there is a cell for the FPC that is here, and that to get in contact with them, you go to a saloon called Suze's, and you order a drink called a Featherfall. And that apparently gets you into contact with the FPC contingent here. As they arrived in Las Brasas, it was the evening. The sun had set, and they could see a kind of lit up rebound pitch, rebound court, rebound a sport on Manifest, puts five players against 5 players in a game where they are competing to basically dunk on each other. So they heard there's a rebound game seeming to wrap up. They can hear it happening. It seems like a decent amount of Las Brasas is there right now. Just because we got there at the very end of last session, just so everyone can remember, the layout of Las Brasas is basically very thin and long because it is built up against a wide, sheer mountain face, like a cliff edge. And there's big, cavernous, like cave mouths that have buildings and businesses in them as well. So there's basically the main parts of the town are on like the ground level, and there's also some of those caverns seem to be big enough to house some buildings, either housing or businesses as well. And then they seem to dig in deeper to what can only be assumed as mining operations. And some of the caves around are small enough that they don't have any housing or anything. They're large enough to like go into, but whatever operations they have are built right up against them as opposed to kind of in them a bit. And you are able to collect your things from the Gray Riders. Your friend Porter helps you collect your things. I'm forgetting her name all of a sudden.
Selma.
Yeah,
Page,
it's like
right.
it's an S. I couldn't remember for sure. Yeah, Selma will help you collect your things, and then Nomad Pack is settling in town for the night. So Selma goes, Well, it looks like we missed the rebound game, which is a shame. But sounds like Chupacabras are winning or have won. So I'm heading up to the north side to celebrate with some of the locals.
That sounds like a riot, especially with you involved.
Well, if you need anything from me, you can sniff me out. Otherwise, we're leaving first light tomorrow.
Sure, I'll find you. Thanks so much for the ride and for everything, Stalman.
Hey, anytime. Come here, get you. And she grabs you and lifts you up and squeezes
All right,
like
that's
the
my
air
rib.
out of your
That's my rib. Oh, okay.
Can you breathe? Can you breathe?
Uh-huh.
And then she drops down on the ground and goes, "All right, it's great. You look good.
Likewise.
And then she joins up with some other nomads that are making their way into town. The nomad pack kind of dispersing up and down, getting some of their business done, but some of them seeming to just immediately go to the rare recreation on, like, not in a vehicle, right? It's very rare for a nomad pack to like stay overnight in a place.
It's like a full vacation, I assume.
Yeah, and you hear that voice kind of echoing out of the where the rebound court is, being like, and that wraps it up for tonight, folks. The Chupacabras will take on the Fairway Smithies in the first Crosstown Seasonal Championship. And everyone's like, ah! And the town is abuzz as you see people leaving the court, moving around. Seems like Las Brasas is gonna go well into the night tonight.
Yo, what was that?
I guess it's something called excuse me, something called rebound.
Well, so rebound is a common sport on.
Oh, it's not just regional.
No. Rebound is a common sport on Manifest.
Oh, right.
Guess know it?
Probably. You can decide whether or not, but like part of its history is like people just drove stakes into the ground in the field and then threw a ball at it to bounce off of it, and like it kind of like grew from that.
Oh, what was that? I feel like I could be on that team.
I mean, you've got the physique, certainly, and I've seen you jump before. I think you'd be a pretty good rebound player.
Yeah, I guess I just always assumed that professional rebound players would be a lot better at it. I don't know, that sounds mean. But yeah, I think I could do it. Do you think they'll let me? Do you think, like, you're allowed to use hours?
I can't imagine you are.
Yeah, well, that's a shame. Fun to see. Maybe like an all-star game or something.
Yeah, I could see it. At least, like, not professionally. You could do it in a home game.
Yeah, some sort of like Planet Movers or something. We're just like having fun out there.
We should find a room for the night.
That's fair enough. Can I roll, I guess, connections to see if I know where an inn is?
Yeah, go ahead and roll connections. You've traveled a lot. I don't know. There's a decent chance this isn't your first time in Las Brasas. Mm-hmm. I don't think I'm going to give you any modifier on this. I think it's just a straight connections roll.
Love that. Let's get,
like, Las Brasas and Tobias Station would be like, honestly, you might have hit it up on like your very first like foray into being a peddler.
Yeah, that's 4 hits.
Cool. You've definitely been to Las Brasas before.
Yeah.
You know quite a bit about it. For one thing, Las Brasas, as can be assumed based on the fact that there is an actual like permanent rebound court right in the center of town. has a pretty avid rebound like local circuit. It's like what they do for entertainment around here. Also, they kind of like games around Las Brasas. Las Brasas is a lot of like work hard, play hard type culture, because it's terrible in the mines and the entire town is built around this industry of like mining and forging and smithing and stuff like that, and so a lot of the people that are here work like hard long days, and then they just want to cut loose and like, you know, play games or drink the night away. It's there's a lot of saloons up and downtown, and most of the saloons also have bowling lanes in them. And the other thing, you know, is that there's kind of a rivalry between North and South Las Brasas, because as far as settlements go, it travels a pretty long distance from end to end of town, just because it's so flat and smushed. Basically like two major thoroughfares that just run the length of the town. So a lot of things are also duplicated. There's like a northern LRC tower and a southern LRC tower. There's saloons at both north and south. There's two major stables at the north and the south side of town. It's basically like two towns like kind of butt up against each other. And basically there are the thing with the rebound is that they have teams that compete within like the northern circuit and the southern circuit using the kind of central court for their games, and then the like champions of those circuits play each other in a championship match, and there's 2 championship matches a year. And so that's what's going on there. You know plenty of the saloons. You can definitely find a place to rest and sleep. The northern side of Las Brasas is a little more lawless than the southern side. There's more money in the southern side of town, and so like a lot of the people in the northern side of town are like, you know, the lower end workers, and then the people in like the southern side of town are more likely to be like business owners and stuff like that, or at least like higher up on the hierarchy within the different industries here. You know that there is a metalworks association in Las Brasas that basically is a bunch of smithies that have banded together to kind of like work a lot. Basically it's almost close to a union. Basically, instead of them getting gobbled up by the mining industries that are here, they kind of work together and share their craft. And within the Metalworks Association, there is a master smith who kind of like is in charge of maintaining the contracts, and then also teaching aspiring smiths their trade. You know that the current master smith in Las Brasas is Tavian Gruel. And you know that the 3 major mining companies that operate here, there's the Deep Hollow mining company, the DF Mining, and then the Dearborn Mining Conglomerate, which is a pretty it's like the largest one. It's widespread throughout Fort Dearborn. It is backed by the governance itself. It has military contracts, stuff like that. So they have a mine here as well. So those are the 3 big ones. You know that the sheriff's name is Blanche Jacobs. And you know that there is a judge here named Emily Winters. And you also know there's a Triptych Church, an Australian church, 1 schoolhouse, and plenty of saloons. You know where Sousa's is.
Right. Excellent.
You've probably been to Sousa's at one point or another. Yeah, Sousa's in the northern side of town. And it does have rooms if you want to stay there. Otherwise, most of the saloons have have housing, and then there's a couple of inns, one in the north and one in the south.
I'd like to find it in the northern side, just like within easy walking distance of Suze's.
Okay, absolutely. It's actually the Charlton Street Inn.
Charlton.
And you happen to know that that inn, I mean, it's probably that part of town is going to be super alive because the chupacabras are the Charlton chupacabras. That's the neighborhood they come from.
Great. Yeah, let's what do you think? I don't know about staying in Suze's tonight, but do we want to try and find a contact there tonight, or should we wait until tomorrow? It will be insane tonight, which could be good cover. It could also make things more difficult. What do you just from a standpoint of planning?
Not sure. This is really more your forte than mine, Porter.
No, you're absolutely right, but I also don't want to get shot at the first thing that I say. So,
How likely do you think that is?
I'm not super likely, but it's never 0%, right? Sure. So,
Yeah, no, I just never thought about it like that.
I try to always be ready for any contingency. I
guess let's take a look tonight. Maybe if we get there and I don't know, maybe there's something to be learned without actually making contact with them. Who knows?
exactly. Great. I'll head to the Charlton Street Inn if you want to come by, and then we can walk to Suze's together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Are you guys having the nomads secure your vehicles at a stable for you, or are you doing that yourself? Or are you not planning on stabling your transports?
We probably should. I probably would have made arrangements for that. Would that be an added cost?
Yeah. But because it's you, Selma will make it only once per a vehicle, and that's going to get you through this week. And then from there, you'll accrue debt to the stable that you'll have to pay off to get your vehicle out.
Fair. I have 0 spurs at the moment. Who could I borrow some money from?
I gotta stable my vehicle so you can have one of mine.
Cheers. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
I'll get the other one. Oh,
Wait.
toss Porter a spur.
Oh, so you're getting one and I'm getting one? Wait.
Yeah, because it's 2 spurs.
Or is there a third?
There's just 2.
Okay. All right. So okay. So I'm paying for Porter's and you're paying for mine.
Okay. I assumed Porter was paying this person. We've handed him enough money to make the payment, regardless of which spur covers which.
Yeah.
Right.
Gus got out of spurs and then he just got real confused.
He just kept handing you spurs.
I give them to you? Who needs a spur?
I think Gus needs some sleep.
That book made me tired.
All right.
That book was like running in your brain.
Mental exercise there. Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
All right. So you head to to the Charlton Street Inn together. You walk on in. As expected, the closer you get to Charlton Street, the more people are around. It looks like people have been enjoying themselves at the game and are now walking around, like drinking beers in the street and like cheering and like shouting like "Chupacabra, Chupacabra!" You do notice like a deputy kind of like walking around and like, you know, getting people to not knock stuff over and stuff. They're not doing a whole lot, but they're just making sure that nothing's gonna get out of hand. Their presence is hopefully enough to stop anything from going too crazy. It gets a little more crazy. You get to Charlton Street, and it seems like that's where about half of the town has packed out. Suze's, you can see in the distance, is just full. Like it's like people like standing outside drinking. You hear like gunshots going off in the air. And then there's another saloon along the way that is also very full. And the inn comparatively is not as full because, you know, no one's staying at the inn right now. They'll probably some people will be sleeping there, but right now they're just enjoying themselves. The inn has a little kitchenette eating area where a couple people are hanging out that seem to want to have like a little bit of a more quiet celebration, or at least controlled celebration. So it's not like dead in there, but comparatively it is not as crazy.
Right.
You were able to like kind of move your way through the crowd and get in there. Big arched like ceiling above like a register where someone is sitting, and they look up and see you. It seems to take them a second to like remember whether or not they've seen you, and then and then they go, check it in.
Yeah, if we can.
Just the four of you.
Yep. How many rooms have you got available?
We have some rooms. If we have 4 rooms if you need them.
Cheers. We'd love that.
Okay. If you're doing a short stay in Las Brasas, we can start it at a spur, a room. If you're planning on staying for the whole month, though, we can talk a different price. But it's a spur. We'll get you through the rest of this week, and then it's going to be a spur every week after that. But if you want, you can pay 3 spurs to just do the whole month.
I don't know if we're going to be here that long. I guess
We'll
just
start
just
it
for
with
the
a
week
spur
for now.
then. Yeah, we'll pay by the week then. All right. So 4 rooms, that's 4 spurs. And I assume you want to be nearby each other. Welcome to Las Brasas, by the way. The game was a hit. Did you manage to catch it? As she like sets down the keys.
Oh, I heard just the very end of it. Good for the Chupacabras. They're having a good season.
That they are, and she like points, and there's like a like above there. There's like above the mirror. There's like a little etching of like a Chupacabra, like the team logo.
Perfect. I always like to stay in a Chupacabra in myself. You know, the fans are always so friendly.
Well, I mean they're very passionate. So you hand over 4 spurs.
If somebody hands them to me first.
Oh no.
Well, I'm not getting them from Gus, apparently.
Fell clean out of his chair.
There.
I can get the rooms. It is the last thing I can get.
Fair enough. I owe you, Dex, and I quietly say to him, I know Gus isn't the best of maths, but I'll give you the spur, and I guess I owe you too. Thanks so much.
Okay. So you get your keys. If you go to drop off some stuff in the rooms, you see that you have purchased the smallest rooms available. It's basically just got a bed and a small writing desk, and that's it. Dex, yours has a window.
Hey, luxury over here. Desk
Bigger
and
the
a
beds.
window?
How big are the beds?
Yeah, it's a tight fit for you. You fit, but it's a tighter fit.
That's part for the course, I think.
Yeah.
It's no hammock, obviously.
It's no hammock.
Yeah, so then I think we meet up and we're gonna head and take a look at Suze's, see what's up.
At least scope it out.
Okay. Yeah, the four of you, after checking in at the inn, you step out, and like I said, Suze's has a small little patio, which is completely full. The door in is blocked basically by people just sitting out there talking and drinking. And you can see inside. It's a 2-story building. And there's open shuttered like windows. People are by the windows. There's like a piano playing and someone singing in there, and it's just very alive. And you can actually see through the crack of some people that are in the windows, since all the windows are wide open. There seems to be a dance floor in Suze's. Porter, you already knew this, but there's a dance floor in Suze's, and so basically there's a band playing right now, and people are like dancing there, and you can kind of see the movement of them. And then that's more or less all you can see from the outside.
Tell you what, I guess let's spend some time just getting acclimated, and then we'll reconvene, decide what we'd like to do tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good. Let's meet back outside. Let's just give it an hour. How's that sound?
Sure.
All right, in we go. If we can shoulder
Yeah.
past people.
People aren't like blocking you. They step out of the way. Like everyone here is like best friends
Cheers.
tonight.
I draft Gus, right?
Yeah, you walk in his wake.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's plenty of
yeah.
drunk people who are like, "Whoa, hey, look at this guy."
Howdy. Yeah, and Gus is beelining him and Elle straight for the dance floor.
Yeah.
Who let the Archer in?
I don't see your mom around nowhere, pal.
All right. Gus gets a grit. Fantastic. There, you're at 11 grit now, Gus.
I think that's the meanest thing I've ever heard Gus say.
I recognized it. That's why I ended it with pal.
Everyone loved it, including the guy you said it to. Like, sometimes in a lot of towns, especially in the Badlands, that would lead to a fight, but not in Las Brasas tonight on Charlton Street. Tonight on Charlton Street, everyone is best friends. Yeah, so Gus and Eloise are heading towards the bar, towards the dance floor.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Everyone is like cheering and like laughing, and as you get to the dance floor, it's a rowdy song right now. People are kind of like moving quickly around in kind of a like circular pattern as they kind of are like doing the little like the hoppy kind of dance, right? Everyone's
It's exactly Back to the Future 3, and I'm so in for it.
Everyone's doing the little hoppy dance. You know what I mean?
It's
So
a fun dance.
yeah, and you realize there's the piano plucking. There's also a fiddle playing, and then a singer singing in the ash tongue. which is a language from a tribe in the southern Badlands. Yeah, and so Eloise and Gus jump on the dance floor. Let's go ahead and have both of you roll.
Athletics?
It's not going to be athletics. No.
Unarmed?
You can either roll manipulate.
Swinging around.
You can either roll manipulate the skill test, or you can roll just a finesse attribute only test.
Shit, am I good at dancing?
You could be if you could find it in your heart to dance.
Guess I'll roll.
Oh, I guess I'd also let a blend roll happen here. Absolutely.
Same for me. Well, same result.
How do we do?
I made my own luck three times to get a hit.
Oh no!
Wow.
All right, Gus, you go down to
I wasn't gonna totally beef the dance roll.
to 8, and I go up to 11.
What have you done? I got
What is it, dance?
I got 3 hits.
Okay. So Gus leads Eloise out, and they hook hands and start dancing. Gus knows this dance. He's danced this dance before, probably. But he didn't, you didn't get out a lot, and you didn't meet a lot of people. So like, for the most part, like maybe like there was like 1 or 2 weddings where you danced and like you're fine. You have good, like decent rhythm and everything, but like you're not like extremely great. Eloise though takes like the lead, and Gus, like, you're fine, but then you realize like Eloise knows how to dance and knows and is really good and nimble on her feet. And she, like, because you are dancing with her, you're totally fine. But if you were dancing with someone else, you might accidentally like step on toes or bump into somebody and just kind of be a little less like precise. But like Eloise like dances as though maybe she had an upbringing in which she had to learn how to dance at parties.
All this ballroom dancing.
It's just ballroom dancing, but faster.
It's a country 2-step.
And so she just
That's what it's called.
she just takes it and beaming ear to ear, she just starts dancing, and she's not quite leading you as much as she is compensating for any missteps you might make in a way that is
Just
like
stand on his feet, and he just
and like you two kind of cut a path in the dance floor because Gus is so big. As like you just jump right in, and there's like even a part where like Eloise jumps back and she's got like that skirt and does like a little bit of like a dance with the skirt as well, like kind of whipping it around and like spinning and jumping in the air. I think this might be the most free you've ever seen Eloise. It's kind of a different Eloise than you've seen before, as she just kind of like jumps in with the music and starts dancing.
Yeah, I'll talk to her about it when we're off the dance floor. But right now, Gus is just enjoying the moment.
Yeah. So that's Eloise and Gus. Porter and Dex, you can see this from wherever you are in the bar. And there's plenty of people, like, there's like already Gus has like a small little like group of people like scattered around the bar who are like interested in whatever this guy's up to. And so those people will be like, yeah, woo!
I think Porter kind of forgets why they're there just for a second as he watches them go, because he's certainly never seen Eloise dance before, because there aren't any. I don't think there's a single dance floor in
sometimes
in
there's
Waypoint, right?
Sometimes there's dancing in the Golden Spike. And sometimes there's dancing in the Turnpike Inn, but there's not really a dance floor as much as there's enough space where sometimes people will dance.
Yeah, I think he's shocked and elated to see her dance so well.
Yeah, I think Dex is sort of just following Porter's lead on where to go in this bar. I think Dex feels like he stands out and not in the way that Gus stands out, where it's like, oh man, you're big. I like that. Dex stands out in that he looks out of place, I think.
Yeah.
So I'm sort of counting on Porter to cover for that while I just kind of keep an eye on things to make sure whoever Porter is talking to isn't about to shoot him.
Yeah, there's not, no one's giving you like dirty looks, Dex, but there is, you get like looks and people like opt out of engaging with you is what you see. Like they're like, and they see you and they're like, and they go the other way. They like take a second, like kind of soak in your whole thing. They see the guns, they see like the way you hold yourself, and they're like, that's not for tonight. And they go the other way.
I can't imagine a lot of people in this mining town of Las Brasas are wearing a full cape.
So Dex, you stand beside Porter as Porter's just a little bit stunned watching Eloise as like Gus like twirls her and spins her off to like somebody else who catches her, and then they start like dancing and like trading partners with other people.
I think I nudge Porter a little bit. Like, you could dance if you want to.
Sorry, I was just distracted. Did you know she was that graceful?
I mean, I hadn't seen it before.
Right. No, we've got things we should do. I'm just here. Let's go get a drink. Can you spare another spore for a drink tonight?
No.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Can you all right.
Do I have to flashback in order to give everyone one spur in order to, so they can drink tonight?
No, that's fine.
Party cohesion grit is the theme of the night.
I mean, I'll do it, but Tommy, do I have to? Can I just giving people money?
No.
Wow.
Brutal.
I like it better. I like it better that Dex and Porter, they are like, okay, cool. We'll just. Oh no.
I mean, I told Porter at the inn, I can get this. This is the last thing I can get. I assumed he knew that meant these are my last spurs, but I guess that went over his head.
Yeah, so Porter, you don't have any money to buy a drink, unless you were to go interrupt Eloise and Gus's dancing to ask for money.
Not gonna do that. I'd like to see if I can find any drinks that look as though they've been abandoned and like half empty.
Porter, don't do this.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. There is a half drink bottle of, it actually is Free State beer from Waypoint.
Not that. Are there two of them?
Just picking up a wounded soldier. 2 wounded soldiers.
There's not, but also you would remember that Dex doesn't drink.
No, I would have just told him to carry it around, but
there's an empty bottle next to it.
Yeah, that's perfect. I'll take the bottle and I'm gonna hand him the glass, and I say, "Here, you're kind of killing the vibe. Can you just carry this around and maybe smile a little bit?"
Sure.
I appreciate it. And I'm just gonna walk around and see if there's like any secret doors that I can observe, if there's like a way upstairs, and that's where the room where they're having their free people's meetings.
All right, so is this Porter and Dexter doing an ocular pat down of this saloon?
I'm actually, as it occurs to me, the thing I am most interested in is anyone who appears to know Gus and Eloise.
Okay, cool. So Dex can roll discipline. Dex, I also do need you to roll a blend for me. And
also, I want to see Dex's smile.
I mean, it's just a regular smile.
It's a pleasant smile.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And Porter, you can go ahead and roll observe. There's a lot of stuff happening in here, though, so
Sure.
your observe is going to be at a -4.
-4.
Surprising nobody, I have not blended.
Cool.
All right, I think. No, I want that one. I'm choosing very carefully. If I choose very carefully, maybe it will go all right.
But I got a 13 high on discipline.
Okay. How many over a 9?
2.
Okay, cool.
It may surprise viewers to learn that when I made a gunslinger, I decided this person probably does not try to hide who they are.
And Porter, what'd you get for your observe?
I'm gonna go it strong, so I can count this 9.
Right. Puts you down to 4 grit.
That's right.
Me up to 12. Oh my goodness.
Oh no.
Oh my goodness, guys. I'll do some flashback.
So that's
It's Dan's face like you're the GM. You can always just say something happened.
I planned that the whole time. What are you talking about? That's 2 hits for Porter.
Cool. Okay. So we'll start with Dex. Dex, you're looking around, kind of like watching people. The first thing you get is that people are they're not like nervous about you, but like they notice that like there's a dark brooding
like a gunslinger.
Yeah, you look kind of gunslingery, and they're like none of them are interested in giving you shit, but they also are like, man, I hope this doesn't lead. That would suck if tonight ends up sucking because a gunslinger just shoots somebody. Like the vibe you get is they're like, please don't have someone to shoot here.
Start none, won't be none.
You do get a couple people who do say hi to you. You get like they're not like completely like avoiding you. You're not like, you don't have like a weird antisocial bubble around you. Some people give you like polite things. They like tip their hat to you.
I like Dex doesn't blend, but he's not like incapable of interacting with humans. Like I respond to people in kind.
Yeah. I exactly. And like that's the thing. Like you have like they're like, howdy, how's it going? And occasionally you get like someone like saying like nice boots or like watch out, big man coming through, like stuff like that, as they as they kind of like try to josh with you a little bit to make sure you're not like on the hunt. And you're able to, you like are good enough, even though you failed at blend, like you're good enough to like at least like respond in a way that makes them like ease up just slightly, knowing that you're not like zeroed in on a target. And it doesn't look like anyone, like you watch the people who are watching Eloise and Gus, all of it seems totally benign. It's just people like, he's the biggest guy on the dance floor, she's dancing really well. And like there's basically the people who are dancing, and then there's the people who are cheering on the people dancing. And no one who is cheering on Eloise or Gus seems to have any like ulterior thing beyond that. And looking at people who might be watching them from afar, not cheering them, it seems like just like them catching the eye of people. You do notice, though, that there's 2 people in like a booth off to the side who are less jovial than everyone else. They're not like somber or anything. They just seem to be having a more serious conversation, with just like the like slightest bit of frustration whenever like the party spills onto them. They don't like completely like out themselves by being like, what the fuck off, man, or anything like that. But they are like, they're like, oh God, just please like stop. And then like, it seems like this conversation is a brief, necessary conversation that they're going to cut short as soon as they can, because this is not the environment to have the conversation they're having. And that's the read you get on them. It's a man and a woman, about in their 30s, both of them.
Divorce, tough.
I was also gonna say divorce.
And Porter, you're looking around for like secret doors or anything strange.
Right.
One thing you notice is behind the bar, you can you catch a glimpse of a reflection. There are 2 guns straddled underneath the bar. They are well crafted, double barrel, guns that like kind of stand out. Like, so Suze's isn't like a slummy bar or anything by like a large margin. I mean, it's on the north side of Las Brasas, so it doesn't have a lot of money put into it, right? So it's like kind of got that aesthetic of like, you know, gritty, not everything's perfect, that kind of thing. But these guns have money behind them.
Right.
These are nice guns. And they are strapped underneath the bar. And then you notice, I guess you're watching like back doors and stuff behind the bar, and you notice that there's like a door that leads into the kitchen, and there's a door that looks like it could just be a closet, but there is a point where actually one of the people who's bartending, she goes back to that cabinet with a tray, like with a couple drinks, and opens it up, and like it's got basically a false like back, not like a really intense false back. It's just like it's almost like a little airlock with a couple shelves, and she just like there's a handle right there. It's not like extremely secretive. It's just like there's 2 doors where there could have been just one. So she opens one, and then instead of grabbing anything from like the spice rack, opens the other one and walks down some stairs. And then she comes back and goes back to bartending.
Good. The last thing I'd like to check is there. Can I see any visible tattoos on the bartenders? Or I don't know. Dex, do you point out the people in the booths to me?
Yeah, I'll nod, or I'll mention it to Porter.
Yeah, anything like that I could see on either of those sets of people.
They have some tattoos. If you want to watch them for a bit to see if their clothing like betrays a tattoo that's like not immediately visible, I will need you to roll blend to not like draw their attention. Otherwise, just at a glance, like they don't have like, it's not like on their forehead or on their hand or anything like that. Like they're, or on their neck,
part of
like
secret society.
if they have any tattoos, like their clothing is enough that it could be hidden.
Good. I don't think that's necessary. We're in the right bar. I'm just trying to get a feel for the place. Does Suze's have a bowling alley?
No, it's one of the bars that doesn't. They forgo a bowling lane for a dance floor.
I was really looking forward to hustling a couple of people with Dex, but that's fine. Yeah, I think I'll just hang back, kind of watch the behavior of the bartenders and the 2 people in the booth. I think I might try and sidle up closer to them and see if I can like ingratiate myself into a group and be like, chupacabras.
I love that. It can either be a manipulator or a blend roll to make friends nearby the shady people. Yeah,
absolutely.
Dex, are you accompanying Porter for this, or are you splitting off from him?
I think I'm going to hinder this endeavor pretty significantly based on so far. Yeah, I think Dex like steps off and is like sort of just kind of standing there and like doesn't really know what to do. And then maybe like a song changes and like I can move my feet. Maybe I'll figure the dance out.
Yes. This is what we all wanted.
Yeah. So as you kind of approach the dance floor, your blend is bad. So what happens?
No hits. I didn't misfire though.
No. So what happens though is you get a little ways in towards the dance floor. and it's plain on your face that you're like, I could probably dance. I don't know. This isn't my natural environment. And like what happens is, because everyone's best friends tonight is there's a young lady like swings by like from the dance floor, like grabs like a glass, like drinks it, looks over at you and says, "Well, you coming or not?"
All right.
And she just like takes your arm and yanks you onto the dance floor. And everyone, like a couple people nearby who were kind of eyeing you, being like, "What's this guy gonna do?" Like they see that and they're like, "Oh," and they're like, "Ah!" And yeah, so you can roll finesse attribute only test. I will, given your history and path, I will put you at a -3 for this.
Okay. What, you think urchins can't dance? There's not time to. You're right.
And we all know Aladdin can dance, so.
Yeah. The Newsies.
All right. So Eloise and Gus, y'all are dancing, cutting the rug.
Oh, I need to hear the results of this roll before I say the next thing that happens.
How'd you do,
It's just really quick. This is unopposed, right?
Yes.
Cool. 5 hits.
Nice.
What?
Woo! So Dex might not be doing like the standard dance, but like this is far from like a ballroom where everyone is doing the same dance, right? So what happens is Dex, I
think I let this woman lead and try and do like the best version of whatever it is she's doing I can.
Yeah. And so basically like she doesn't like, again, no one's really doing like, it's not a uniform thing where everyone's doing the exact same steps or anything like that. The song like changes. It's another lively one. And she like pulls you in, starts dancing, and basically like immediately you just start following her form and trying to like make sure like you are like in tandem with her. And what happens is like Dex and this girl, like they are doing doing like an improvised type dance. Like they're not doing like just like a standard 2-step or something. Like Eloise's dancing is very good, but it is trained. Dex's dancing is also very good, but is like not necessarily trained. It's just people having fun.
It's like how you would think Matthew McConaughey would dance. Like he's not doing the regular steps, but it's incredible.
Yeah. And so what ends up happening is like you kind of do like something akin to almost a tango with this girl, as the two of you are like dancing, and there's even like a point where like you are intuitively like raise her hand up. She like spins like 3 times and stuff like that. Like she's a very good dancer. It seems like that's like she just loves like dancing, and as
she came here to dance.
Yeah, and as she's dancing with you, she does like ask you some questions. I don't know how cagey you are about anything like that.
I don't think Dex is like particularly cagey unless she starts asking like, how hard would it be to get you to Brimstone? Have you considered joining the Fort Dearborn militia?
Small talk.
Yeah. So she says her name is Tori, and yeah, so she introduces herself. She's like, you two are dancing, and she's like, I'm Tori Kazato. Who are you? I don't remember seeing you around.
I'm Dexter Bailey. We just got in.
Welcome to Lost Process. You chose a good night.
Seems like.
And then you dance a little bit more. She's like, okay, Mr. Bailey. I don't know why you're so shy. You got this. And she like cheers you on and is like dancing and stuff. And like, and the conversation kind of ends there as you two just kind of like dance a little bit. She's not asking you for your life story. She just wanted to know who she was dancing with. And occasionally she does stuff where she's like, spin me. And then like, she's like, toss me over there. You are making Tori Kazato look really good on the dance floor right now.
The toss is incredibly accurate.
It's fantastic.
I think for sure Porter's watching this and he's like, can everybody dance? What? When did this happen?
If I may attempt the face that Gus makes when he sees Dex pass him on the dance floor, I think it goes something like this.
Oh, please, your camera has to start working.
There it is. There it is.
Oh my
There it
God,
is.
yes.
Just a slow, and it froze, like it. That's great. We have just a frozen, excited Gus. Yeah, Gus's face just lights up. Eloise, you see as like Dex and Tori like in like quick step, like their feet like right by each other, like basically using the momentum of each other to spin really, really fast. As they just like twirl by you like a whirlwind, and then like Tori's like now, and like Dex and her like use that momentum to snap out in like a dramatic pose holding hands, and then like she spins herself into his arms, and then he instinctually like dips her.
Guys, this is what we do now. We live here and we dance and we play basketball.
This is our new life.
I gotta tell you guys, Las Brasas is a really cool town.
Tommy, how come you never tried to get us here before?
Oh my God.
Yeah. So now you have 3 out of 4 of you tearing up the dance floor. And Porter, how'd you do on your, was it manipulate or blend?
It was manipulate, and I think I have some new best friends because I got 4 hits.
Well, it is opposed.
Oh, that's worrisome.
What's your highest?
My highest is a 7.
Sorry, the better question. Oh, well, I guess maybe not the better question. The better question was going to be how many over a 5?
Oh, that's 2 over a 5.
Okay, cool. So it's not new best friends, but for tonight,
yeah,
very good friends. This is like you have found like that thing at a bar where you meet some strangers and you're like, we're riding together tonight, and like we might go to the next bar together. We're gonna like, it's like maybe we'll know each other after tonight, but right now we are a friend group. And like that's what you fall into there. They start talking about the chupacabras. They start talking about the game. You mentioned the last time you saw the chupacabras. And that like gets you in, and then they start asking about you. One of them isn't doesn't brew tonics, but she is basically in charge of like the first aid mess in one of the mines. And so she knows like first aid pretty well, and she works for the DePaulo mining company. She's one of the medics there. And she's like kind of interested in what you have to sell because like, you know, their stock is, you know, she's like, yeah, like sometimes they have the right stuff and sometimes they don't. I'd like to buy some things because, you know, it's dangerous there. And, you know, I like to have my own personal inventory so that if the situation's really bad, I can help someone out. So she's interested in what kind of tonics you have for sale. And then, they talk to you like they haven't been to like a couple of them have never visited Waypoint. And so like when that comes up in conversation, cause you're drinking a Free State beer, they're like, oh my God, like, what's it like? What's Waypoint like? And then like you mentioned you're from Markham's Landing, maybe, unless that's something that you hide from people. And one of them is like, oh, I almost went to Markham's Landing one time. I saw it. And so like, they're talking about that. And like, you have a lot of good stories to tell, right? You have like, you know, you've been through the wastes on the shipping lanes. You grew up in Markham's Landing. You've been drifting as a peddler for like 8 or 9 months so far. So you become like the person who they're all really interested in because these people are basically born and raised Las Brasas and don't know a lot about like other places. Like they visited Tobias Station a few times, and that's like the most like urban they've ever been. So. So they think you're super cool, and
I think I was gonna stretch the truth about some things, but I decided against it because probably the truth is incredible enough to them.
Yeah. And then like you're able to, because you are trying to basically be nearby these shady people, right?
Yeah.
You're because you got 2 successes on manipulate, you are able to like basically diffuse at a certain point after ingratiating yourself to get them to talk about themselves and about Las Brasas and stuff, so that you can half listen to them and like also keep an eye on the other people, so that you're not you're not in the spotlight having to talk the entire time.
Yeah, excellent. So what can I make out from what these people are saying?
You're trying to basically listen in on the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I will let you roll an observe test one more time, and I'm a spend grit.
No, don't do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend 2 grit to bamboozle you twice.
Okay.
Deborah, you know we haven't loved each other for a long time.
So that's you're at 6 grit now, and you're at a -2 for this observe test.
Good. That I'll keep that, and I'll keep that. These dice are gonna lead me to victory.
You may well be fucked. I have a 10.
Oh yeah. Well then, I am the aggressor here, right? So all I need is a 10.
Okay.
Well, that's not a 10. Ow! That's a 19.
It's important because it's not a 20.
Yeah, exactly. I just got a measly 7, so that's what I got.
Okay. So I only get 1 net success over you then. So the only thing you learn is their first names. Because they refer to each other by their first names, which is not entirely common with people who are like, basically a lot of times, just in general on Manifest, if you meet someone for the first time, you call them by their last name until you are friends. So you can at least assume that these two have a close personal relationship, at least a friendship, because they are Truman and Maggie.
Truman, Maggie.
Just every once in a while, like, you can't quite hear what they're saying, but occasionally they do like say their name for like emphasis. They're like, no, Truman, listen to me. And then like you can't hear it because they're like, yeah, and like one time the chupacabras. And then it's like,
cheers to that.
Listen, Maggie, it's a good. And then like they're like, Markham's Landing.
I think as he like pretends to listen, he gets really into it, and he forgets that he has an empty beer, and so he like.
That's okay. One of them immediately goes, "Looks like you're a little dry there, buddy. What you drinking?"
Oh, just I got this free state, if you can.
All right, and then he like moves through the crowd and comes back with another beer for you.
Oh, that's quite kind of you there. Cheers to the chupacabras.
To the chupacabras, chupacabra. and then like the whole bar like erupts with that for a second, and a couple people shoot their guns out the window.
It's so dangerous.
All right.
Well, we've had a lot of fun here tonight. Please don't shoot your guns out the window.
Yeah, I mean, this continues. I mean, Eloise and Gus, like, you've been dancing for a while, so you might be getting a little like winded, well, I mean, like, you both actually have pretty good durability, so you can go for a while. But like at the same time, it's hot and sweaty in here, and you don't have drinks yet. Actually, that's not true. Gus, someone brings you a shot of whiskey.
Hey, thank you, partner. Cheers.
They're like, for the Ache!
Wait, can we get one over here? I feel weird about drinking alone.
Did you gesture?
Look how good she is.
They're like, for the Ache and the Ache Tamer, and they give Eloise a shot of whiskey also.
Yes.
Cheers, Al.
And you both shoot. You both shoot, and everyone's like,
are we good?
It's a good kind of burn, and like he slaps you on the back, and then like grabs your arms, and you start dancing, and then like someone grabs Gus and starts dancing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So go ahead.
Or yeah, after a while, I suppose if we stop dancing, like get bored or just sort of done dancing or whatever,
A slow dance comes on.
I ain't gonna be the one to stop.
Yeah, a slow dance.
Slow dance comes on, and we both get real awkward. Hey, do you want like a drink to wash down the whiskey taste, or?
Oh, sure. Yeah, that's good.
Or I mean, I don't know. Porter looks busy. I don't know. I can maybe get him over here.
Oh, no, that's okay. He's doing, I guess, making friends. So let's just get some drinks and I don't know, dance more or something. It'll be fun.
Yeah, you really like dancing, don't you?
Well, yes, there are rules.
Yeah, I guess so. That's what you like about dancing? There's rules?
Well, everybody follows the same rules. That's what it's like. You know, it's like this. It's like the beat is like the rules, and you gotta
Yeah.
right, and then like
Everybody
you can
sort
like
of follows them rules.
yeah, and like it's also I did a lot of it, so I had a lot of practice, so I feel good.
Yeah,
at it.
when'd you learn to dance like that?
Oh, from the time I was 8 until the time I was 14.
Dang. That's 5 years.
Yeah, every summer, and not like all the time, but just like tutors and stuff. It's not 5, right? No, don't worry about it. But yeah, just like
That's really cool. So they brought in people to teach you how to dance.
yeah.
Was that your family?
No, it wasn't my family. It was just like people who taught dancing. My family doesn't. I mean, they all know how to dance,
But your family brought people in. It's important in your family to know how to dance. Do they all like to dance together?
no, never together.
Oh, well, that's
Yeah, no,
strange.
it's they're is this mine? Okay.
Oh, I was gonna get you a beer. That was that guy's shot.
No,
I
I'm
got
sorry.
you, my friend.
I'm gonna cross horns with the Ache. That one's on me. Give me another.
Yeah, hey, I got you on this one, partner. Yeah, a shot and two free states, please.
Sure. If you're actually gonna start a tab, 1 spur.
Yeah, I have 2 of those.
Well, now you have 1 of those.
No, I have 3. I'm a king. I'm a god king.
Yeah, so you get a shot for the guy, and then 2 free state brews.
Well, that's I don't know. That's pretty cool, El. I guess I don't know. I can't imagine being from somewhere where it's important that you know how to dance.
Yeah. No, it's like if you don't know how to dance, like you can't talk to people, sort of.
Does all the talking take place on the dance floor?
I don't know. I never actually went to a place where people actually danced. I just learned how a lot.
Oh.
Yeah. But like,
Okay.
I was gonna but then things changed. So
What changed? Oh, is it?
no, it's fine. My dad died.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It was a while ago, so but like, you know, and then I is it really hot in here? I feel like I need like, do you want to
A lot of
like
folks
see
in
if
here.
there's a table outside maybe or something, or like,
Yeah, all right.
okay.
There's not a
Yeah.
table outside, but there is outside.
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
a
So
minute.
you guys step out onto the porch. There's not really enough room for the two of you to just kind of like linger on the porch, so you can kind of like stand and lean against the banisters from the ground level.
Sure. Yeah, so it's with it hot in there. It's always funny when
Yeah.
like you're inside a place and then you step out and you're like, oh my god, I didn't know that. But like,
Yeah.
yeah. Where'd you learn how to dance? Because like, you know.
I guess, I mean, you know, like when the carnival happens or when like there's a county fair in the local town, sometimes we'd get to go to that. If we've been good and the harvest has been good, we get to go down and I don't know, we get a couple spurs for like
Do people dance at weddings? That's like a lot of what the dancing is for.
yeah, yeah. You know, I went to a couple weddings. You
And
know,
like
when
and like becoming dating and stuff.
yeah,
Anyway,
I didn't really wait. Were
it's
you
like a
were you
courting
dancing?
thing, and sort of, kind of.
Were you dancing for Dayton?
I know I didn't, never did that,
Yeah,
but like,
I didn't really.
but there's like a big dance every year where like everybody who's like 15 goes and like dances, to like meet other people their age, and then like, you
Oh.
know, their parents talk, I guess. I don't really know. I just
That's,
my some of my siblings met like they're the people they married
huh.
at those. So, but usually like not when they were 15, like once they got older, they went to like a couple or whatever and stuff.
Meet some. Did you meet anybody there, El?
No, I didn't go. I didn't go.
You didn't go.
I didn't
Okay.
go because I was too young.
That's a shame. You're so good at it. Dances are pretty fun. We didn't really like, you know, there weren't enough like people of like the age or whatever. So like I'd go to the county fair and I'd dance with Mrs. Winslet. She was like a little bit older. She loved to dance. She loved to dance with me. I think she just loved to dance.
Well, it is real fun.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're real good at it. We got to get you and Porter out there. I'll tell you what I'd love to see. I'd love to see you and Dex go out there and take a dance. You see that guy? He ain't following no rules. He's making his own rules.
That definitely sounds like Dex.
Yeah. Yeah, sure does. Yeah, shoot. That's funny.
Do you want to go back in, or should we wait out here for them to come out now? Or
Yeah,
It's
shouldn't
closing
be
in
too
on
much longer
the it's
now.
closing in on the hour. Yeah.
okay,
Dex,
to meet him.
Tori dances with you for as long as you would like. She does talk to you a little bit. Oh, well, I guess, do you and Tori dance during the slow songs? Cause she immediately, like, as soon as it kicks in, like, she pulls herself in and like puts both of her arms over your shoulders and like drapes her hands behind your neck.
Yeah, I mean, I think for Dex, it's a little bit Porter's still doing whatever he's doing. And a little bit like, man, I've really got this dilemma that's got me questioning a lot of things right now. And then a little bit like, it's nice to dance.
Okay.
So yeah, I keep dancing with Tori.
Okay, cool. During the slower song, she talks with you a little bit more. She goes, "So, Dexter Bailey, new in town. You got an air about you. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, night's a night of celebration, but you carry those guns different from everyone else. What's your story?"
I'm I'm a gunslinger novitiate.
She like stops dancing for a second. Not like she doesn't disengage, but she does stop for a second, and like you have to like you're quick enough to also stop, and then she catches the beat again and keeps going, and you follow suit. And she goes, "Wow, well, I gotta say this is my first time meeting a gunslinger. Should I be scared?"
I don't think so. You don't seem like you're about to do anything particularly bad.
Well, Nat's still young. So what brings you here, Mr. Gunslinger Dexter Bailey? To Las Brasas. You on a quest? That's what gunslingers do, right? They quest after people. I read a book once.
More or less. We've been dealing with some bad folks, and hoping we might find some more information here.
I'm Porter now.
Oh no! Oh god! I'm dancing with Porter. I've been dancing with Porter the whole time.
So as you keep dancing, she goes, "Well, that is quite the life. How does one become a gunslinger anyways? Is there just kind of a lottery? You born into it? Was your uncle a gunslinger?"
No. My version of it, I think, is a little bit too much of a downer. But, you know, find your way up the mountain. Wardens will happily teach you.
There's a mountain.
Yeah.
Whereabouts
tell
is this
me-
mountain?
Remind me, like, which mountain range it is.
It is it's in the Malachite mountain range, which is one of the longer mountain
Which is like
ranges.
huge, right?
Yeah. But
Okay.
it is the northern Malachite mountains because it's on the north side of Loner's Pass.
I think it's uphill of uphill.
It's not uphill of up. No, it is. You're right. Uphill is nearby.
Okay. But like I could say in the Malachite Mountains without sort of like putting a fucking pin on the map and being like, here's our secret monastery.
The Malachite Mountains like bisect the planet.
Cool. Excellent. Yeah, so she says, like, where's this mountain? Like, it's in the Malachite Mountains.
Well, that narrows it down. That's right, I remember. We're all gunslingers are always so secretive and mysterious.
I don't know if that's necessarily true. I'm a novitiate. I'm not supposed to tell everyone exactly where the front door is, you know?
Sure. But what if I wanted to become a gunslinger? Then how would I find it?
God, I hate that I'm about to roll this, but I think it is in character for Dex to, like, for a second be like, does she?
I'm not gonna have you roll it because you rolled a good discipline earlier to like read people. No. She doesn't want it. No. Tori wants to dance. That's what Tori wants to do. Tori really, really likes her life in Las Brasas.
Well, if you really wanted to know and learn, I suppose I could take you.
Oh, well.
But I get the sense you're pretty happy here.
I do like this town. Especially because of all the interesting folks that come through town. Now, I just have to know, Mr. Dexter Bailey. Am I going to be all teary-eyed a week from now with you dead in the streets because you found someone who needs shooting who is faster than you?
I sure hope not.
Well, I do have to say I've danced with a lot of folks. I never danced with a gunslinger. And if I were to wager a bet prior to tonight, I would have thought gunslingers didn't know how to step. But you, sir, you're one of a kind.
I think Dex just smiles.
And then the slow song ends, and a more lively song kicks on, and she pulls away, and you guys just start dancing again. The other thing you get prior to having to join the group, through the various like small conversation you guys had prior to this and up until like the time where you have to like bid her, at least leave her for now to go join the group in an hour. Tori Casado is, despite her young age, is the head LRC operator of the Northern LRC Tower. Which is like, you know, that means a lot because LRC operators are like, they're basically government workers. And there's like kind of a like there's a training process and stuff like that. She has to be able to maintain the LRC tower. She's at least expected to. And like it's not uncommon.
She's the head of an LRC tower in like one of the largest settlements in the Badlands.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, and she's one of 2 LRC towers in town, but
still, like,
it's not uncommon for people like in her age bracket to be LRC operators, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like the head operator, like that's surprising. That means that she's either had an abundance of schooling or showed an abundance of skill early.
Okay.
And then yeah, about an hour passes, Dex, and you find a break in the song. And as you go to leave Tori, she doesn't guilt you at all. As soon as you like pull away, she steps back and gives you a little curtsy, and she goes, "Till we dance again, Mr. Bailey."
Until we dance again.
And then she turns around and hooks arms with someone else and spins off into the dance floor. Yeah, what about you, Porter?
I think the last thing that Porter does before rejoining the group, just because I think he knows it's going to be a fairly short interaction, I think at some point he's going to turn to the couple in the booth, and he's going to say, "What's going on with these two? What are you, a couple of Prowlers fans?"
You're gonna turn your friend group against them. Yeah. Truman looks up and immediately, Porter, you're able to read that Truman is way better with people than Maggie is. Sure. And he looks up and smiles. He goes, "Prowlers, you wouldn't catch me dead in one of them in their colors." And then he goes, he like taps the table and gives a signal like to Maggie with like his eyes in his hand, and the two of them like stand up as if they're getting ready to leave. Truman goes, "But I'm happy to buy around for some true blood Charlton Street fans. Go ahead and you tell Lolly to give you a top shelf at the bar. Say it's on Truman."
Oh, cheers to that, lad. I didn't mean to drive you away. You all just seem so serious.
And Maggie is already like left. Like she's no longer engaged in this conversation.
No.
She splits off and starts walking. And Truman goes, No. It's just this is our usual haunt. We are here to celebrate just like everyone else. But you know, sometimes it's just sometimes you lose focus of what's actually important. Lolly! And that same bartender that you saw go down the stairs like perks up and he says, "Couple of the green label for this here lot here. Go ahead, drink up, have fun." And then he like gives you like an earnest like pat on the shoulder and says, "You have a good night, friend," and then walks off.
All right, that's awfully kind of him.
And then your friend group immediately is like, "Green label."
As they separate off, I head back out and I say, "I'll catch up with you, lads."
Like, should we save you the drink? Well, we'll just drink it.
Porter got all these people poisoned.
Dun dun dun.
Green label. Green means poison.
And then, yeah, Dex and Porter, you're able to kind of join up together on your way out to where Eloise and Gus are cooling off in the street.
Yep.
Also, 1 grit to Eloise from Laura the Bard. Also, Laura the Bard gifted a bunch of subs. Thank you, Laura the Bard. You're amazing. Also, Ryak gifted a tier 3 sub, which is wild.
Damn.
Thank you, Ryak.
Ryak.
And shout out to Random Jerk and Argitlam for the resubs. Argitlam has subbed, both of them actually. Random Jerk and Argitlam have subbed for 18 months.
What?
They're fucking
That's a
dope.
year and a half, y'all.
Look,
That's wild.
Year and a half.
basically, I had to stop and say, y'all are dope. Thank you. We love you all so much. Oh my god, Ryak just dropped 10 tier 1 subs. That's insane.
Real, y'all.
That's ridiculous. That's wild. Thank you.
Oh, there's a rivalry I see between Laura and Ryak.
Yes.
This is insane. Thank you so much, guys. All right, Dex and Porter, you return with Eloise and Gus. You are all out in the street. Unless Dex and Porter, you want to talk a bit before you step outside, but basically the 4 of you are able to reconvene in the street. No problem.
First of all, good on y'all for dancing like you do. I had no idea. How did everybody get so graceful? When did that happen?
There's a pit, and there's a bunch of these like 10-inch diameter poles in the middle.
Oh.
And you have to traverse the pit via the poles.
That would do it then.
It's called rebound. That's right. The pit and a bunch of poles is right there. Has he been playing rebound? I know we gotta get a team together.
No, I'll explain it later.
Well, I don't know. I know that there's definitely a place where they would go to meet. I don't know how advisable it is for all 4 of us to try and go down there. So, I don't know. Should I think probably our best move, Dex, you watch the outside for me, and I suppose Gus and Elle, do you want to stay here as backup, and I'll try and see what I can find out?
Yeah, well, I mean, I could go with you because I can protect myself, and I'm, actually sort of who they're looking for. They did offer me a job, so they're expecting me. Really,
they're waiting for you. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose that makes sense. But are you sure you're up for it?
Yeah, I can come on through.
All right. So I appreciate that. Could I troll one of you for just 1 spur? I swear I'll pay you back. I just want to start a tab,
I got a tab going.
Oh, cheers! Thanks so much, boss. Yeah. So just make sure you're watching the door. And if you see those 2, I don't know. I kind of described Truman and what's her name, Maggie.
Mm-hmm.
Truman and Maggie to them. If you see those 2 come back in, just keep your eyes out. I think they at least know the bartender, and they're probably involved in something. I couldn't really hear them. I made some very loud friends.
I'll keep an eye out for him.
Right. Gus, you wanna go in first, and then I suppose just wait 5 minutes before the 2 of you come back in.
Oh, I thought we could go together.
That's what. Just Gus.
He means the 2 of you first, and then.
Yeah. Yes. Let's go.
Right.
Before you go, I guess my question is, why are we sneaking?
Well, I don't want to put anybody on the wrong foot, I suppose.
So you just want to see what's in there?
I mean, I want to see.
I think Porter's plan is for him and Gus to go and order the drink that.
Oh,
is
I'm so
prepared.
sorry. I didn't like.
I wasn't clear. That's my
Okay.
fault. Yeah, we're gonna try and get into the back room there
Oh,
and
okay.
see what we can find out.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just keep an eye out. Be safe. I don't think anything's gonna happen tonight, but
No, that's fine.
right.
Okay.
And Porter like kind of pats her shoulder and squeezes it reassuringly, and takes Gus into the bar.
Okay. That leaves Dex and Eloise out on the street alone, as Porter and Gus make their way through the crowd. And Porter and Gus, you get up to Lolly. Your friends Porter have already like gone off somewhere else. And Lolly turns and sees Gus, and says, "Right, what can I get you?"
My friend and I, we'd like to order a featherfall from you.
All right.
My
What
tab, please.
on your tab?
One for
She reaches under the bar, pulls out 2 shot glasses, pours in some tequila, dashes it with some hot sauce. Slides it out and says, "You ever had one of these before?"
Oh, I've heard they're quite good.
The best.
Yeah, we recommended them.
Who's your friend?
I think it makes sense to be honest with her here, but I don't remember that person's name.
You don't remember
Lapidus.
Simon Lapidus?
Simon Lapidus, living large with
Simon
Lapidus.
Lapidus.
Tommy, hold on. real
Simon
quick.
Lapidus.
I need you just a real quick 10-second cutaway. What's Simon Lapidus doing right now?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Let's see. It's nighttime. Simon Lapidus right now is sneaking through the indentured worker hallway because he wants another potato. And so he is like walking and then he creaks and then someone's like, "Lapidus!" And he's like, "Oh, I was just going to the bathroom."
I love his zany adventures.
This whoosh that happens, whoosh back here.
Not mind by the name of Simon Lapidus.
Well then, don't expect the warmest of welcomes. Shoot up.
Fair enough. And I'll clink glasses with. Did she pour herself one as well?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, clink glasses with both her and with Gus, and take a shot. How's it taste?
It's good. I mean, it's tequila with hot sauce. So basically, it tastes like tequila, and then there's an extra burn on the end. The hot sauce like cuts the initial like tequila like grossness at the very beginning, and then adds a little extra like actual burn that lingers at the end.
Canonically, Porter doesn't do well with hot sauce in general, so I think it like he definitely coughs it up just a little bit.
I'm rolling an endure test to see how well I did with it.
You ate you just had one of the peppers that they gave to people to make them like cry, and then you were just
yeah, that's right.
It's good.
I rolled 3 hits on this too, so I'm doing fine.
Yeah, you're fine. And then she says, "Follow me," and walks around outside the bar, and leads the two of you into the door that leads to the kitchen. Turns to the left where there looks like there's a closet. Opens it up, and just under the spice rack there is a handle. She opens that, and it leads to a staircase leading down to a basement.
Excellent.
And go ahead.
Can me and Eloise have come back in like in time to see them being let out?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, so Porter and Gus walk down the stairs into the Free People's Coalition hideout. Dexter and Eloise are still in the bar proper in the middle of a rowdy night after the Charlton Chupacabras have won the last game in their division and will be in the championship match. That's we're going to take a break. So
Charlton shoes.
So I got 10:02 on the clock. So we will be back in about 10 minutes. So 10:12, aim for that. If you are watching, get some drinks, refresh your snacks, all that good stuff. And also the rivalry between Ryak and Laura. Oh my God, Laura dropped another 10 subs. This is insane.
Snap.
Y'all look crazy.
Snap.
Y'all look crazy.
Nuts.
We love you. You guys are great. That's awesome.
Ryak, you gonna take that? Are you gonna take
Ryak?
that?
Oh my God, Ryak! She's firing back. No. You guys are great. Thank you.
They will, based on precedent, never stop.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Limit does not exist.
All right. Well, we're gonna go to intermission. We will see y'all here in about 10 minutes. We'll be back. Bye. Hello, welcome back. We went a little later than expected. Everything is fine. Don't worry about it. All right.
Okay, I've got my feather fall. I'm ready.
Nice. Did you make a feather fall?
Yes.
How's it taste? Drink your feather fall.
It mostly tastes like tequila.
Yeah. But then there's a little bit of a burn.
Makes sense.
No, just a little bit. I used Old Bay hot sauce, and I think that was definitely an
Nice.
addition.
All right. So, Porter and Gus, you head down the stairs into the basement. It is relatively well lit. It looks like there's some, basically you're led into a room that has some materials here. You see some weapons. You see some random like machinery and tech cubes. You see some first aid cubes. Oh. Did he leave his fridge open or something?
Nobody know?
What's great is this picture froze. This picture froze with his foot up in the air. Oh no. Oh no, Seth.
Y'all, I think the fridge got him.
He got fridged. That's what that is, right?
Oh my god, did
Yeah,
his
that's
phone
what it
just
is.
like die? What just happened?
I think he's back on his computer.
Is he? Do you see him? I don't.
Yeah, he messaged the chat. He said his computer came back to life.
Oh. All I see is the frozen.
It may
image.
have died now.
Oh.
Oh, there's our pizza boy.
There he is.
Hey, all right, you're back. All right. Can we hear you? Can you hear us? Oh, is
Oh,
he
no.
back? Oh no. This has been a great stream, guys.
We all moved.
We all moved. The stream is retaliating because we're not
Right.
still just dancing and being fun and charming.
It's true, it's true. Seth, can you hear us?
That's not the button.
Sorry,
Dylan.
just shut up. Leave me alone. Yeah. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Oh my god.
So Porter and Gus, you walk into this basement. It has shelves with different materials and a couple weapons. There is a curtained large doorway that leads into another room that you can see is also lit. And then there's a side room with no curtain and just a doorway open. That you can see like a couple like beds and like sleeping arrangements like on the floor. You walk down there and you are regarded with some confusion by Truman and Maggie, who are both down there.
That checks out.
They turn and they see you, and Lolly leads the two of you down. Truman goes, "What's going on, Lolly?" And Lolly says, "You ordered a feather fall."
Cheers to you.
Maggie and Truman exchange a look. Lolly stands there awkwardly for a second, and then Truman goes, "All right, have a seat. How's it looking up there, Lolly?" And she like shrugs and goes, "Like the Chupacabras won." Yes. All right, let us know if anything else goes on up there. And she like nods and heads upstairs. And Truman gestures towards a little round table with a few chairs for Porter and Gus to sit down at.
Take a seat.
Yep, absolutely.
Maggie sits at the table. Truman does not. Maggie joins you at the table, sits down, just kind of like watching the two of you. And then Truman kind of walks around talking like he's continuing doing what he was doing. And he goes, "Right. Well, I believe you may have me at a bit of a disadvantage there, friend. If you were looking to contact us, you could have just said it without all the pomp and circumstance."
That's
Sort of his
fair
line
enough.
of work.
I just, I wasn't sure what the situation I was walking into was. Just trying to be as safe as possible. I'm sure you can understand that.
I suppose so. Well, welcome, of course.
Thanks so much.
Who recommended you?
Oh, well, I believe we've got a couple of acquaintances, mutual acquaintances, that is. I've met with a fella named Kenny Mathis.
Yeah, he offered me a job.
He did. That's right. My big fella friend here. And I've met with a friend of yours named Jack Taylor, although that was an even less pleasant meeting, if I'm quite honest.
Porter, go ahead before you continue talking. Roll. You have playing the player, right?
I certainly do.
Yeah, roll manipulate.
Can I help?
This is
No, he's actually defending.
Oh,
and this is still part of a first impression, right?
It is,
because we didn't really meet upstairs.
Right. Well, it's also like within the same scene. But I rolled a 1.
Ah! Well, over a 1, I've got 4 hits, so
cool. So you say Kenny Mathis, and you see that both Maggie and Truman have no idea who you're talking about. And then you say Jack Taylor, and Truman's show, because it is a show you're able to see through, of him like doing stuff, like, he's like, the stuff he's moving around is like stuff that could be done, but he is choosing to do it now so that he can like be active and like turn his back on you if necessary, things like that. All stops. He just like drops the thing he has as you say the name Jack Taylor. They don't seem to recognize the name Kenny Mathis at all. You say Jack Taylor, and they are both shell-shocked when they hear that name. And Maggie, when you say the last little bit where you're like, and that was a less pleasant thing, Maggie stands up and doesn't immediately like square up against you, but she does like kind of turn and head towards a wall, her hand dropping to her gun.
Perfect. I've got the feeling that perhaps we've got a bit of a common enemy.
What do you know about Jack?
Jack Taylor's dead. He had something done to him that made him far more, and in a lot of ways, less than human. I believe he's being used as perhaps a kind of weapon.
Maggie finally speaks and goes, "Fuck!" And she catches her hand and then says, "Truman." And Truman goes, "You should tell Orion." And she steps through the curtain and goes further in to the hideout, out of sight. And Truman drops the show and sits down across the table from you and goes, "Tell me everything."
I think that's probably exactly what I do in general, because I think that'll endear me to him the most. I explain our meeting with the Fort Dearborn militia, how they conscripted us essentially upon finding us looking for Jack Taylor in the mountains. I explain taking Jack Taylor down and how the Fort Dearborn militia, I don't specify, I think because Gus mentioned being wanting to be hired by Kenny Mathis, I say they wanted to conscript my friend, and I kind of indicate him, but I don't say anything about L. And then I say once he died, I saw his body and they carted him off, and I saw a tattoo that looked familiar to us. It was we found it on this on the stock of a weapon.
Within your story, do you dodge around any language that would imply that you are part of a larger group, or Do you just kind of say like we have some friend? Like, does it come up that you have other friends?
I'm very general about it. I don't specify the number, but I think that we could either mean me and Gus, it could mean more people in our group. I'm not specific.
Okay. Partway through your story, like before you even get around to the like story of like how Jack actually died, you hear glass breaking against a hard surface and loud muffled voices. And then you stop probably reflexively when that happens. And Truman sits there for a second, lets out a sigh and says, please keep going. And then you're able to keep continuing talking. And you're interrupted once more partway through your story as Maggie returns through the curtain. And Jack like holds up a hand to pause you and says, how is he? And Maggie has tears like wiped freshly off her face. Her eyes are a little red. And she goes, how do you think? He sits there and nods, goes, I assume you've said your name at this point, right?
Yeah.
Mr. Janus, please. I need to know everything. And you continue with the rest of the story. Maggie fixes herself a drink while you do. She sets one in front of Truman. He doesn't touch it. And she downs her drink and sits down at the table, seeming only to like sort of listen to you. The only other thing I need to know is, do you at all imply whether or not you and or Gus are illuminated?
No. The only hint I make to that is to say they were trying to conscript Gus. They were trying to imprison him. Okay. But that would be the closest thing. It's not my place.
Gus does interject, clarify that he's illuminated.
Okay. So then, yeah, by the end of your explanation, Truman is aware that Porter is not illuminated, Gus is illuminated. You tell him the story of Jack Taylor and his death as far as what you know. And it kind of like sits there lingering in the air in silence for a little bit as you finish the story. Maggie has to pour herself another drink by the end of it. And Truman sits there and goes, well, it weren't Jack that sent you here. Maybe pointed you in a direction, but he didn't send you here. Who's this Kenny Mathis? Is that who you said sent you? I don't know that name.
Not Kenny Mathis that sent us. It was we happened upon a friend of, well, maybe not a friend, but somebody might know, by the name of Simon Lapidus.
Maggie just goes, ha! in the corner, and Truman goes, that son of a bitch.
A gunslinger pointed us his way, which made us sort of take him a little more seriously than if we just sort of happened upon him.
Well, Simon ain't here for the cause. Simon was here for himself. But, hell, I guess I can't begrudge the man for sending you our way. Otherwise, we'd still be wondering what happened to Jack.
What was he involved in?
What, Jack?
What got him in the hands of the militia?
He was watching them. He was watching them for us. What are you doing here? You here to tell us a story of a friend lost, or you looking to join up? We could use folks.
I'd like to know. We heard a little bit about what y'all are up to, and personally, my ears thought it'd be nice to hear from you all as well.
It's I don't know if we've made a decision to join up with you, but we've got a common enemy, and that's a good start, I think. Although I've noticed, at least in Fort Dearborn, and starting to spread a little bit further into Manifest, there's quite an anti-illuminated sentiment starting to take hold. And
That's
I'm
putting it
starting to think that
lightly.
it might have something, right?
Yeah.
And I'm starting to think it might have something to do with the family. And if it's in the family, that means it'll spread even quicker. They've got the funds.
Maggie and Truman exchange a look, and he goes, "What do you know about the family?"
I know that at the very least, Black Star Security is involved with the Fort Dearborn militia, and the Fort Dearborn militia are looking, well, at least Brimstone, the Brimstone division, are looking for money from the family. And if they're working with Black Star, that means they're probably in with the Sheffields.
Sheffield's are Markham's Landing territory, not Fort Dearborn territory.
No, that's right. But the Black Star, they are mostly hired by the Sheffields.
Other way around. The Sheffields don't do business with Black Star.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
I misread my note.
Yeah. The one thing is the Sheffields, they cut ties with Black Star. But
That's
the family in general, all the families for things like Black Star, like the illegal mercenary groups, they just kind of work like as fixers. They kind of put people who need muscle in contact with these groups. So if there was a family that Black Star was mostly close with, because they primarily operate in Fort Dearborn, but not exclusively, it would be the Canoom family.
Be the Canoom.
And that would be something you would know.
Yeah. So amending the statement is if it's working with Black Star in Fort Dearborn, then it's probably the Canooms, but could be anyone, I suppose, except for the Sheffields.
You with the family? You got family?
I'm not with the family, but I've been acquainted with them in the past.
That can go two ways on the scale, real hard. Which one
I'm
is
aware. Present moment, I'm caught hard right in between the two of those ways.
impressive? Are you with the... So you know the Canooms?
I know of the Canooms, but I'm not involved in them.
Maggie says, Truman, I don't know. And he goes, no. We ain't looking for family backing. We don't want strings attached. No. The Ravens got more than enough.
That's wise of you.
Enough support as it is.
I am not a representative of the family. They have no idea that you exist, as far as I know, or that I'm here. That I'm sure of.
All right. You mentioned a common enemy. Sounding a lot like the militia.
We're being chased down by them. We turned down an offer, and that it was them that sent Black Star after us, as far as we can tell.
Ain't that the way it is? They want something, you say no, they can't take that for an answer.
I noticed that. Yeah, they're very persistent.
Well, Mr. Porter, or Mr. Janus, Mr. Gurley, we ain't necessarily looking for folk to join up here. I don't want to send you away having come this far, especially you doing us a favor of letting us know what happened with Jack. You caught me a little bit unawares here. You ain't wrong. Brimstone's a shadow that is spreading further and further. I mean, sounds like you suspect, but you don't know. There's been disappearances for the last 4 years or so of illuminated individuals in Fort Dearborn territory, and a significant amount of them disappearances seem like they can be traced back to Brimstone. That's what Jack was looking into. He was shadowing them, following them, trying to get information for us. He was good at that kind of thing. But, well, we lost contact with them around 6 months ago. We all kind of thought it might have gone this way, but that don't make it easier. Any amount of preparation for traumatic news like that don't matter. You might think you're prepared, but hell, you hear something like that, it's gonna put you off kilter. I don't know how I can help you two.
I suppose mostly what I'm looking for, there's not even something I can ask you for, but I know that if Brimstone is kidnapping people and turning them into what Jack was when he died, that's bad for the planet. Much less just trying to get Brimstone off me and my friends back. They'll chase us to the ends of the earth. The ends of Manifest. That would be a better colloquialism. They'll chase us to the ends of Manifest, over the edge if they can, and have that. Now, I don't know if we want to join you, even. I don't think that's what we're looking for, but I do need any kind of ally in stopping Brimstone from what they're doing, because what they're doing is dangerous. I just need to know what your plans are. Our first meeting with somebody from your faction, they were trying to steal LRC tower parts from us. And that kind of technology, it will make you a lot of money. It can also form something fairly destructive, don't you think?
Is that, what, Mathis you were talking about?
Kenny Mathis and his friends. I couldn't find them in my notes. What were their names?
Lulu and
Nicolette Dubois.
Nicolette Dubois, that's right. And Kenny Mathis, he called himself the Kenny Mathis gang with Lulu and a woman named Nicolette Dubois. Is that a name you've heard?
Can't say so, but that don't mean much. I mean, structure around here is you maybe get contact with the Raven, but you don't really know anyone else who's fighting for the cause, you know? That way
Smart.
someone gets pinched, they can't talk.
It's classic decentralization technique. I admire it.
what are y'all doing? I mean, the only person we've been able to talk to about who y'all are and what y'all do was Simon Lapidus. I don't think that was
Do you know how trustworthy he is?
most accurate.
What did he say?
He said something about copping a free meal or something.
And Maggie goes, that sounds about right. Truman says, well, that was Simon's experience, but I mean, you seen it firsthand. The Fort Dearborn territory has broken. The system is designed to oppress, step on the people who can't defend themselves, to vilify people for just being who they are, and to push along this sort of continued overreach of city, the factory town, and the militia in general. I mean, you said they was camping outside of Waypoint?
That's right.
Any other factory town, settlement like Waypoint, we never even have to suffer such a thing. Militia ain't got nothing to offer Waypoint, but they want to show up and parade around and remind them that they are owned. So we're here to take that balance and knock out a cog or two, if we're lucky. It all seems right now to revolve around Brimstone. Now, I can't speak to the Ravens' goals in general, but at least as far as we know, Brimstone's the target. But I don't stop there. You got the Alders, you got the Valentine Coalition, you got every step of the system serves the elite. But they're not as strong as they think they are. They think they can step on our throats, but time and time again, we prove them wrong. That's what we're here to do. Fly in the ointment. Wrench in the gears. That's the FPC. Eventually, more and more people are going to know about it. And they're going to realize there's more of us than there are of them. If they think they can walk all over people like us, well, damn, they got another thing coming.
Those are powerful words. Fly in the ointment, the wrench in the gears, a thorn in the side, whatever you are. It doesn't sound very dangerous. I know what you're trying to do is be several wrenches and several gears and enough thorns to do somebody some damage, but how are you going to rebuild the system in a way that you'd like for it to be? Are you going to do something more than just annoy people? I guess is my question.
Listen, friend, we are one big victory away from getting the people to realize what's going on and to understand that they don't have to accept things the way they are. Now, you're asking me to lay out a 10-point plan for what happens after the war? That's not what I'm here for. That's not my job. I'm here to fight. I'm here to make a difference. And it's easy when you're standing in a place of privilege, leaning back in your chair, no worries in the world, to come up with plans for exactly how things are going to shake out. But when you're here in the trenches, fighting for just existing, you don't have time to figure out the nuance of how things are going to work out once you win. The first thing, the only thing you have to focus on is winning. Then the rest will fall in place.
Look, Truman, I'm sorry. That wasn't meant in offense. Obviously, you're in the trenches. I get that. If you think that I'm here with not a worry in the world, I mean, would I come and seek you out? Would I have even taken this meeting if you think that I wasn't here for a reason as well? No, I understand where you're coming from. I may not be in the trenches. That doesn't mean that the war doesn't affect me. I don't need a 10-point plan. That's not what I'm asking for. I'm asking, if we help you, will it be more than just annoying people and making life harder for people who are also under the foot of that oppressive system? Is there something more to it than just being a thorn in the side?
You can roll manipulate. And you've done an
Okay.
extremely good job so far, so I'm giving you a +2.
All right.
Oh wow. Can't roll well. I should have bamboozled you.
Oh, you probably should have.
I have an 8.
An 8, you say?
Mhm.
Well, you've got 4 hits overnight.
Wild.
Just needed to get me talking to some people.
I had to decide whether or not I wanted to try and make my own luck. It's not worth it. What's your highest?
My highest is a 15.
Not worth it. So at this moment, as you ask that question, the curtain rips open. Actually, a couple of the rings break, and a large man walks through.
That's what I wanted. Yeah.
He storms through. His face is wet. His eyes are red. He's got dreadlocks pulled up into a massive bun on the back of his head. And he's got like a thick, full beard, with some gray lines in it. And he bursts through, and Truman and Maggie turn, and he goes, "I'm heading out," and just walks right by everyone and starts going up the stairs. And Truman sits there for a second, looking at Maggie, and goes, "Go with him." And Maggie like looks to you two and looks back, and Truman says, "I'll be fine. We're having a pleasant conversation." And then Maggie exits, leaving the two of you alone with Truman. Dexter and Eloise, the two of you out in the bar, just kind of hanging out. You do, after a decent amount of time of your friends having gone down, you do see that kitchen door swing open, and kind of a dramatic, like it hits somebody in the shoulder as this massive man walks through. He is equal height to Gus. Big guy. Walks through, pushes people out of the way, and then is followed by one of the people, Dex, who you recognize as someone who was sitting in that corner before. They go to the bar, and he doesn't sit down. He slams his hand on the table, and Lolly starts and comes over and hands him a bottle, and he starts leaving the bar.
We haven't heard I guess it's pretty loud in here, but we haven't heard gunshots or anything from the underneath the bar or anything.
You've heard
There's
some
bullet holes.
gunshots, but it's all
Yeah,
seemed
but I
to
can
be...
clock all those guys
Yeah.
shooting directly out the window, not worth with no cares.
Yeah. You are able to clock that.
Even into the air, just straight out the window.
All the gunshots that you've heard have been celebratory. Except for maybe one or two that are in the distance, but who knows?
I guess neither of these people look like they've been in a fight, right?
No. Though, Dex, you have good enough discipline. This big guy is very upset.
Sure.
He
He's been
is
crying.
it's
a
unhappy.
very distinctive look.
Yeah, no, his face is super puffy.
Yeah, if they're looking like they're gonna leave, I'll look to Eloise. I recognize her from the serious couple I pointed out to Porter.
Okay.
They don't look like they've been in a fight. I think it doesn't look like they've subdued Gus and Porter.
Okay.
I think we should follow them.
I don't have this. Okay.
What?
No. You're the tactician, so let's go.
Okay, but you're significantly more educated than me. What?
No, it's not something that I'm good at. If you want to get caught, I should go with you.
Okay. Are you fine to stay here?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I get up and I start to follow them.
Okay. Dex, you begin following them. Are you just trying to like stay out of line of sight, or just like in general keep them in vision?
I would prefer to use sneak rather than blend
Cool.
to
Well,
stay out of
lucky
sight.
for you, they are walking down the street, which does provide you a lot of opportunity to not hide in plain sight because it's very shadowy, it's very dark, it's middle of the night in the Badlands. So you are totally fine. Hell, even one of the moons is one is close to full, but the other one is not. That's right, guys. I made a chart.
Wild.
Oh wait, no, I lied. I was looking at the wrong one. They're both almost covered. It's very dark outside.
Right.
Yeah. So Dex, go ahead. Actually, know what? Unless you try to do something dramatic, there's enough distance and enough line of sight. This dude's big. I'm not gonna make you roll to just like sneak through the shadows to keep an eye on him. The moment you want to get closer for more information or anything like that, that's gonna be when you have to roll sneak.
Yeah, I'm mostly just interested in seeing where they go, unless it seems like they go somewhere like they go to like the sword store and start picking up a bunch of swords or something. You know what I mean?
What you're able to see is the very large man is drinking straight out of the bottle, and they are not talking. He bursts out. The woman follows. It looks like she wants to talk to him, but instead the two of them just walk in silence, shoving people out of the way as he just drinks straight from the bottle. And that's what you see so far. Eloise, you are alone in the bar. At a certain point, a girl comes up and taps you on the shoulder and said, like, you don't have a drink or anything, right?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. So she goes, drinking a dance? And you recognize her. She's the woman who was dancing with Dex.
Oh, the real showy one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So she gets a couple shots, shoots one with you, and then pulls you onto the dance floor, and the two of you start dancing immaculate.
I'm 4 drinks in. I'm dancing. We're best friends. We met in the bathroom of a nightclub.
Yeah. No.
Let's go dancing.
This is quickly escalating to a moment where the two of you own this dance floor.
I have lost the thread of what I am supposed to be doing.
Porter and Gus in the basement. Porter, you got how many successes? 3, 4? 4?
It's 4.
Maggie leaves, following who you assume is Orion. And Truman sits there for a second. He finally grabs his drink and takes a sip out of it and sets it down. And he goes, it's more than just being nuisance. All it takes is one group of people come together in a way that brings the system to its knees, even for a moment. Now, I'm sensing some animosity between y'all and Mr. Mathis. You said he jumped you.
That's right.
I don't know the fella, but if you're looking to have words, I know how you can find him. It'd be through the Raven. He and I
I've heard.
were in contact.
Okay.
What have you heard?
Oh, sorry. No, I've heard you use that that term. I was curious as to who the Raven was. I assume he's your coordinator of sorts.
He's the man with the plan. He's the one who's putting all this together. The FPC is his brainchild. He comes, he puts us on a task, we achieve it, and we contribute to the betterment of Fort Dearborn in the long run. Now, the Raven, you don't just call him up and say, hey, who's Kenny Mathis? He's giving me a task. And I plan on completing it before time comes that I reach out to him again.
Fair enough.
Now, I can't promise you nothing. No meeting, no anything. But you've had a direct confrontation with Brimstone. You've met some of the people in charge there. I can't imagine the Raven wouldn't be at least slightly curious to talk to you. But before I go and try and arrange such a meeting, I suppose we could use some help. Don't know how. Don't know what the two of you can pull off. But if you're looking to bring the fight to Brimstone, Raven's got us on just the task.
What's the task?
Well, about 2 years back, believe it or not, someone got out. We don't know who they are,
The FBC?
but we've heard.
Brimstone?
What?
That Brimstone?
Yeah. Someone got out. We don't know exactly who, but we've heard stories here and there. There's someone out there tied to Brimstone. Been on the run, hiding, laying low for about 2 years now. We also know that they worked in the factory town prior to going there. We know enough that we think if we just are able to find one final piece of the puzzle, we can find out who they are and track them down. And they can tell us what the hell's going on in there. I mean, what you said Jack turned into? That was 6 months. Anyways, whoever this person is, we don't know who they are, where they are. We know enough that we think if we're able to peek at some of the Fort Dearborn records, we know enough about their... We've talked to a few militiamen run astray.
I'm sure.
And we're pretty sure that if we're able to get a look at those records, we can piece it all together and figure out who this fella is. Where we're going to do that? Well, we were planning on putting something together in the next few days. So the question is, how serious are you about taking the fight to Fort Dearborn? This is your chance. We don't bring people in here and force them into this.
No.
This here ain't everyone got the gut for a fight. Y'all seem like you're interested, but is this what you want? Because once you commit to the FPC, we need you there every goddamn step of the way. It's not half in, half out.
I understand that. We're capable. We're more capable than you'd guess. My question, I suppose, is: do you know if you're looking for an ally or for an enemy? Are you planning on finding this person and killing them immediately, or do you think they got out of Brimstone because they didn't agree with it?
We just want to know what they know. It's up to them whether they're ally or enemy, but we suspect ally. The fact that they've been on the run from Brimstone for 2 years lends a bit of context.
Fair enough. I guess my second question is: if we do this job for me, if we do this job for the FPC, does that mean we're a part of you, or is this one job and we're finished?
You definitely have had dealings with the family.
That obvious.
We ain't signing contracts, nothing bonding in blood. Prove useful, we'll want you. But here, we'll take the friends we can get. And if 2 of you have gone up against Black Star and Brimstone, ain't no way you ain't useful.
I've got your word on that. Nobody's gonna hold us down and give us a tattoo.
No. I think I got a pretty good understanding of you. I know you ain't friends of Fort Dearborn. You ain't here to find out our secrets or take on the Raven. This organization, we don't tell people what to do. That's what they do. You want to be part of the fight? Do it. You want to live a life holding on to what privilege you got? You can do that too. Ain't everyone a fighter. You choose your path. We can use the help. If you want to find this Kenny Mathis, I bet the Raven can point you in a direction, especially if we do good on our job.
Fair enough. Is he telling the truth about everything that he said? Sorry,
Truman.
Tommy.
Truman.
Yeah, Truman.
You got how many net successes on your manipulate roll?
It was 4.
Yeah, this is true.
It's only up and up.
I will say, like, just in general, like, his little, like, jab at, like, we found some militia people, like, the brutal tactics that Kenny Mathis used, because Kenny Mathis's gang, as far as you know, murdered an innocent man and used his body as bait to draw you in.
Exactly.
Those kind of tactics are not... Truman doesn't seem like he's incapable of such things. But you don't know exactly, like, how far he's gone or is willing to go. But in general, you think... I guess the thing is, you don't know how far he's gone. You have a pretty good sense of how far he's willing to go, which is all the way. He believes in the cause and might do bad things for it. That's the general read you get on it, but his little speech about how you can join us or you can leave us, that's your choice. That's genuine. You think he believes that the two of you aren't going to go and tell Fort Dearborn, come to this bar and beat up these guys.
Yep.
And you think he thinks if you do something like that, he might be able to stop you anyways.
I think I'll kind of not pull Gus away, just kind of like whisper into his ear. I probably have to stand to do that, but that's fine. We should. I know that we should check in with Dex and L, but it'll go a long way if we commit ourselves to this now. What do you think?
I've been in for a while. You were asking a lot of good questions that seem important. I liked what he said like 10 minutes ago.
Fair enough. I'll say, I think if that's the contract, well, not the contract, but the handshake agreement that we can commit to, we can help you get those records.
All right. Now, which is one other thing I'm a little fuzzy on.
Fair enough.
Is it just the two of you? I seem to recall Yache over here dancing with a certain lady off the bat like they knew each other.
You're very perceptive. Not surprising, I suppose. Your line of work. I can't tell you who they are, but it's more than just the two of us.
Well,
And I would need to speak with them before they become a part of this meeting.
if you want to know what it is we're doing and you want to lend a hand, I got to meet your partners. I ain't doing this blind.
I understand.
Sure, they'd like to meet you too.
And I understand that you need to size them up before working with them. When can I meet you then?
One of us is always here. You got a glimpse at Orion. Maggie, myself. There's also Kit, but he's new, so don't worry about him. Lolly works here, so go ahead and he folds out like a little piece of paper, writes a note on it, folds it up and goes, "You can order the feather fall again if you want, but Lolly will recognize you."
It's not a bad drink. I might just do that.
He goes, "Proper introductions. I'm Truman Howland. The stick in the mud who follows me around, her name is Maggie Buckler. Lovely lady upstairs is Lolly Staples. And sultry fella who ran out, that's Orion Corby. I look forward to meeting your friends, but don't come back without them. Otherwise, we don't have anything to talk about."
I understand. It's truly been a pleasure, Mr. Howland.
Mr. Howland, I got a question for you real quick before we leave.
Absolutely.
What's got you all into this? Are you illuminated too?
Yeah. Each one of us is, except Lolly. Each one of us has a story. None of them is good. Now, I get the sense you ain't from Fort Dearborn. You grew up elsewhere?
Yeah. Yeah, what gave it away?
No. If you grew up around here, you might not need to ask.
Yeah. You know, there's a lot of things I gotta ask. Oh, I ain't from around here.
I don't know what it is you grew up with, and I know it's hard elsewhere, but in Fort Dearborn, parents, they wish and hope, pray even, that their kid don't come up illuminated.
Right.
It's terrible. It's an atrocity. And again, I don't know what you've been through, but most people with any sense, most people like us, they get the hell out of here as soon as they can. Fortunately, I'm a stubborn son of a bitch. Same as the rest of us.
I've been through less than most, but more than some. It's yeah.
Sounds about right. And if you're willing to step up, stand up for the people here, I respect the hell out of that, Mr. Gurley.
I might just be.
Might just be what? You broke up.
Willing to stand up. That was all I said.
Oh, okay. You froze.
I was
right?
gonna say his last name. I was gonna say his last name, and then I couldn't remember it. I got like everyone else's last name.
Howland.
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 Howland. I would have written it down wrong first.
He stands up, goes to shake each of your hands. Porter, because you got 4 successes on connections a long time ago, you know that Staples is also the name of one of the artisan smiths in the Las Brasas Metalwork Association.
All right.
Yeah. Caden Staples is an older gentleman who is an artisan smith. And so you suspect that perhaps Lolly might be his daughter.
Right.
He shakes both your hands. Dex, Eloise, you're just dancing with Tori, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Dex, you're following Orion and Maggie through the streets. They don't talk at all. They just walk. There's even a point where Orion hands her the bottle and she takes a swig and hands it back to him, and he takes like 5 swigs and hands it back to her, and she holds it for a second and hands it back to him. He takes 5 more swigs. And there's a certain point where you realize they're heading towards the south side of town. Or sorry. Yeah. The south side of town.
Okay.
Cool. You cross by, you see the rebound court. Dim, it's dark now in the night. It's not active. You pass into the southern side of town. Just immediately, like the further you go, you see the houses are better, the businesses are better. Just everything has a little bit more money behind it. And there's a saloon nearby. And they stand outside. Orion finishes his beer and tosses it down an alley, and it shatters against a wall. And then they head into said saloon.
Can I get a sense as I've been walking? I know I've been like sort of far away. Like, this feels like they're about to go start some shit. Am I correct about that?
Yeah, go ahead and roll discipline. You're pretty far away, so we'll put you at a -3.
Okay.
You are up against a 9.
I have 2 net hits over 9.
Orion is about to start some shit. Maggie is going to end the shit.
Can I get a sense of how bad the shit's gonna be?
You can't. Not with 2.
Well, I guess it's entirely possible. I've just watched a man about to go kill somebody. I think I have to go into this bar.
Cool. You're creeping along. You get nearby the bar. They've been in the bar for maybe 45 seconds to a minute and a half. And before you get to the door, it rips off of its hinges as Orion comes out with 3 people like in front of him, and he throws them onto the street and then steps out, looming over them. One of them runs away. The other one's got a broken nose already. And Orion squares up against them. And in the doorway, you see Maggie, and she stops, lingering for a second. And I'll say with your 2 discipline, you know that Maggie is going to interject here in about 10 to 30 seconds.
Okay.
So you kind of like pull back into the shadows and watch. Orion, one guy runs off. Orion like spits in his direction, and in that moment, one of them like rushes forward. The guy with not the broken nose rushes forward and throws a punch, clocks Orion in the chin. Orion barely seems to register it as he turns towards the guy, and then like grabs his like shirt, lifts him up, and then just like grabs his crotch and throws him onto the ground. And then the other guy comes up and tries to throw a punch, and Orion just like parries it out of the way, hits him in the gut so hard that he throws up, and he's like got a broken nose. He's throwing up on the ground, and the other guy who he tossed on the ground is like out of air and coughing, and Orion like starts walking forward, and that's when Maggie says, "Is enough?" And like Orion stops and like clenches his fist, and the guy like starts getting up, and as he pushes himself off the ground, he goes, "Fuck you." And Orion just punches him in the face one more time and knocks him out cold. And then turns to Maggie and goes, "Now it's enough." And then starts walking north.
Okay. I guess I'll let them go, and I'll like wait a bit and then help these dudes who just got the shit beat out of them up, because I'm really torn, because like I don't feel like I have to get in the middle of every fight I witness, right? Like that's not gunslingering.
Mm-hmm.
But I do feel bad about letting these dudes get the shit beat out of them, and so I think in this moment I'm hoping to find out that they're assholes.
So yeah, you walk up, you help the guy with the broken nose up first. And you, see him, he's like, "Thanks there, partner. Jesus, what the hell was wrong with that guy?" And then he goes, Matthew, where the hell did you run off to?" And, you hear from the shadows, I don't want to come out." "Matthew, what happened? Did he get you?" I don't want, I'm going to go home.
Oh.
And then the guy who's unconscious on the ground, kind of starts waking up, and you help him up. And they both are like, "Thank you, partner. Did you see that? That guy come out of nowhere.
Yeah, I just caught the very end.
I just walked in and he said, I think he said like you, and then he punched me right in the fucking face. I don't think this is. I gotta go see someone about this. It's bleeding a hell of a lot. You got a rag, sir?"
Yeah, here.
"Thank you so kindly. Thank you. I'm so sorry. Thank you for stopping by. I'm James. Nice to meet you. I can't shake your hand. I'm sorry.
No, yeah, just you know, keep it's fine.
We should get you to. Are you all right?"
Yeah. We should both get to a doctor. Are you good to walk?
Yeah, absolutely. Matthew, you still around? What the hell happened to Matthew?
He pissed himself.
Hell. He ain't ever been in a fight before. Hell, I've only been in half a fight before. Ugh. All right, let's get walking. Come on. You sir, you have a good night. You don't. He like holds the rag out for a second.
That's your rag now.
All right. Thank you kindly. Come on, let's go. And they head further south.
I'll start heading back. Just God damn it.
And Dex starts heading back. Porter and Gus, you've shaken hands with Truman Howland. And he gestures for you to head upstairs. Eloise, you finish a turn about the dance floor with Tori. And then she finally seems to want to sit down and have a drink, and she offers for you to join her.
Yeah, I definitely do.
Yeah. So she heads over to a table that seems, it's not reserved for her, but it is empty. And you think that might be because she has claimed it.
That's like her table. Sure.
And she sits down, gets a couple drinks delivered, and the two of you are sipping on. She gets you like a big drink. It's like a big wide bowl.
Does it have a straw?
It's got salt around the rim. Yeah, it's like a kind of margarita.
Like a fish bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Dex and Porter, you start heading back up. Gus and Porter, you start heading back up. Dex, you start returning towards Suze's in the wake of Orion and Maggie. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Wow. Oh, snap.
Welcome to Las Brasas.
We're just regular guys.
We're just guys.
Poor Matthew.
Oh well.
I'm sorry, Matthew.
Look, I feel for Matthew. I gotta respect the beef boy. I love a good beef boy.
I'm just gonna go home.
I would like to leave the fight directly to home.
Go to home, directly to home. Don't let anybody see that you pissed yourself.
All right, roll blend to hide that you pissed yourself.
That is, I guess, what you would roll. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
It would be at a severe negative.
On account.
Oh man!
Depends what color pants you're wearing.
You gotta dive into a horse trough.
He punched me right in here. All right. We have some questions from the viewers in the Discord, but if you are watching right now and you have questions about the game, the players, the campaign, the characters, whatever you want, toss it in the stream chat and we will answer it. But we have a couple things from Arget Lam here. Looks like he wants us to build a few more characters. Oh no. It's a Castlevania character.
Well, before the Castlevania character, there's a Castlevania weapon request.
Mhm.
The one directly above the break there, Tommy, is for this week also.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Because we were off for a week. Having completely caught up on Netflix's Castlevania, is there a weapon mod that would allow you to remotely control a melee weapon at range? Not necessarily the level of control we see in Castlevania, but could you conceivably attach some thrusters to a weapon and then use a piece of headwear to control where it goes? Not quite,
Hey,
but
Yeah.
so here's the thing. Quick Fix says for a whole fight, you're good.
Sure. If you want to do it from a technology standpoint, you could do a weird quick fix thing where you craft something in the middle of combat and then it breaks down at the end of combat. The thing I was going to say is that's legitimately how telekinesis works. The telekinesis power.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's not just available to everyone, but if you are like a powerful telekinetic, like if we had one of those, like conceivably they could pick something up and beat someone with it.
If only they had the skill for it.
Yeah, the thing with
Yeah.
telekinesis is if it's something that would require a skill test, your attribute is replaced by your insight attribute, which is the attribute that governs how illuminated you are. But your skill is still your skill. So you would want a decent melee skill, but you don't need a good muscle attribute because you could just use telekinesis to be very strong with your brain.
I remember
Telekinesis somatic or mentalist?
Telekinesis is
Mentalist.
mentalist.
Damn it.
I remember we were playtesting like the very high level play of Manifest, and I made a very illuminated person with the like intention that my combat was telekinesis. So I had like 2 muscle and 12 melee and like 2 finesse and 13 ranged.
Because you were always like, I'm not doing this with my body. But
no. I can throw a rock at him.
But I had to be able to aim and hit. It's great. Yeah, so you can definitely pull that off with telekinesis super easily.
And now I'm just wondering, as a former drone rigger in Shadowrun, if you could get like a baseball bat drone in Shadowrun. It just...
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I want to do that.
You
That's
can
great.
put a whole arm on a drone.
Put anything on a drone.
Just want a flying baseball bat.
You could have a drone that has an arm that's holding a smaller drone that's holding a baseball bat.
And then other things from Castlevania from Argitlam, he wants us to build Grant. What is it? Dynasty or Dynasty? Either way, notable traits.
Dynasty?
Dynasty?
I mean, Castlevania's whole thing is the characters' names are like Dracula backwards, so I have to imagine that's Dynasty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Notable traits: agile as hell, can climb walls, stealthy, freedom fighter / pirate, will definitely knife you from several dozen meters away. Well, this guy has the subtlety tree and has invested significantly in it.
And sure hands probably to throw knives, very good.
Yeah, because you can the ability to climb walls. You get that in the subtlety tree. You can run up walls super easy. Stealthy again, subtlety tree. Agile as hell. I mean, good gymnastics helps you, but what helps you even more is the talent.
Subtlety tree.
I can do this all day from the subtlety tree that makes it so you can just dodge forever. And then will knife you from several dozen meters away. Sure hands will help with that. There's a lot of a lot of talents for being good at either like shot projectiles like bows and arrows, or thrown projectiles like knives and shurikens or whatever. And also probably other things from the subtlety tree like opportunist and cheap shot, which is kind of like if they don't know you're there, you do even more damage type thing.
For some reason, Freedom Fighter / Pirate is really giving me Moxie vibes, just for the one talent that lets you roll manipulate when attacked to make them unable to attack you again.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what gave me Moxie Tree vibes. It's the name Grant Dynasty.
He's certainly got first impression.
Gotta. Built in.
Love it.
Just out name.
And then there's a recurring Castlevania enemy called Axe Armor. Notable traits: heavily armored, throws axes that return, uses a gigantic shield. So straight up hardiness tree, hardiness for sure. Funny thing about,
I mean, that's just a medium melee with a recall cable.
Yeah. There is a mod you can put on melee weapons that is called Recall Cable, which is if you ever drop them or throw them, you are able to bring them right back to your hand. So, like, if you want to be a dude with, like, 2 daggers that, like, throws daggers.
Surprise, I played that. A person with knives. What? And then, yeah, they just, like, every turn it was like... And it was just, I was, whatever that guy is from Mortal Kombat. Just like, get over here.
Get over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just done with a mod, though. Again, the if you're throwing axes, the sure hands tree
will really help you out.
Yeah, sure hands tree helps you out because that makes you
throw
better.
your axe through 2 guys, which is deeply funny to me.
It's really funny.
Nice.
That is some Mortal Kombat shit.
And then hardiness makes it so that you are better at heavy armor, you are tougher, And you can
Shields.
use. There's a whole line in the hardiness tree that makes you a fucking god with the shields. So,
My first character was a shield boy.
yeah. I don't know what else you would have. Obviously, hardiness and sure hands.
Probably brawn.
Sounds like brawn,
Like,
right? He also probably.
If you're big and you got axes and usually you throw them, sometimes you probably don't.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That is throwing axes still arranged?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a shame. It feels like it should be Muscle should get a hand on that ball.
You can, depending, because there is the projectile mod that lets you use muscle instead of finesse.
But you still need a
That makes
range.
sense.
You still use ranged, but you get to change your attribute.
Okay, that makes sense. I can see that.
Cool. All right. So that's occasionally they use axes to hit things. All right. Cool. Perfect. Brawn. I also love the fact that Grant Dynasty is a pirate in a landlocked country. Very nice.
Reminds me of the pirate guy from She-Ra, except for not a landlocked country. Just
Oh,
that's
sure.
the vibes I'm getting.
Yeah.
Reminds me of the pirate Roman played in a game that I ran, who insisted he was a land pirate, which is somehow different than a bandit.
Right.
It's the
become
eyeliner,
an arrow.
you see.
A space pirate. He was a multi.
He was a multi-pirate, just not water pirate.
Yeah, multi-hyphenate. Could not stomach the sea.
All right, cool. That's what we got in the Discord. I don't see anything else in the chat. So we are gonna wrap up for tonight, y'all. We did it. We moved and then we did it. We ran a session.
All moved.
And everyone made it to Los Brasas.
Yay.
Cool town that Tommy
believe-
never wanted us to go to before. Actively
Yeah,
tried
weird
to
how
keep
we
us
ha-
from coming to.
He kept
It's
away
a
from this
demand.
Oh my
beautiful
gosh.
town.
Right? It was
whole
crazy. Also, when Tommy was like, a small group of people can affect real change if they put their minds to it. I was like,
yeah.
I think we did that last season.
Yeah, I'm not getting like real mastermind vibes from this guy though. So like,
I don't know. He's pretty talky. I bet you he has like serpent tongue.
yeah, but you know what he meant after the end, which like is the key indicator that he's not the mastermind.
All right, y'all. We are gonna end it for tonight. Thank you for watching. We are gonna be back next week on the 13th. We're gonna
Tuesday the 13th.
Tuesday the 13th at 8 p.m. Central Time or whatever the other times. Whatever the
I
other.
was picking up on my extremely dumb joke.
God, it took me so long too.
So we are gonna wrap up for tonight. Thank you all so much for watching. If you haven't already, follow, subscribe, though I can't imagine how you could subscribe because there were so many gifted subs this session that surely all of you have
Wild.
subs at this point. Thank you again.
Crazy what an inspiration you both are. Inspiration.
Thank you both.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you,
good.
Ryak and Laura for all the gifted subs. Thank you, Random Jerk and Argitlam for the consistent resubs. Everyone here is amazing. We love you all so much. We're super looking forward to next week. We're gonna see what our clever drifters do with the Free People's Coalition.
Have a hangover.
Dance.
They're gonna dance about it. They're gonna solve all of Fort Dearborn's
Ooh, is there an
problems with
abandoned
dance.
factory in Las Brasas? I need to go dance about tonight's session.
All right, y'all. Good night. Have a good one. Thank you
We need to sign
again.
off.
We are signing off for the night. Goodbye. Oh my God,
Love
Argilon, thank you for the
you.
gifted sub. Ah!
Right
He's
over the
gifted
wall.
27
Please.
subs. Argilon has gifted 27
That's so many
subs.
subs.
Jesus.
You monster.
You guys are amazing. Thank you
Oh
all
my
so much.
goodness.
We're going to
That
get
is
Roman
so-
a better computer. Let's go.
Yeah.
What?
All right.
All right.
That's amazing.
Goodbye.
Jeez, thank you.
Goodbye.